Hello. Hello, hello, hello. We're live.
Wait, we're live? Oh shit.
We're live. 15
We're
seconds.
live. It's
17
live.
seconds.
Nice. We live. Actually, just subscribe to Mark's Monsters too. Got yourself a sub. We do movie reviews. Troll 2, Craft. I'll check out some of your reviews, man.
So, Mark, are we all wrestling each other? Because if we are, I'm taking Trenchy. I wanna grab a hold of that bod. You know.
This is something else we do. We harass Trench endlessly during our streams.
Here, Trenchy.
The
I'll fight Balkan for your honor. The honor to get that bod. You know.
Hey guys, it's Mark's Monsters, and tonight we're going to be talking about wrestling, mainly wrestling from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I'm joined by the Soulless Trenchcoat, the Horror Boy, and Trash Picture Show.
Hey guys.
I'm going to start it off with my favorite heel from the 1970s, and that is, and he was a heel through his whole career, and that is the Sheik, not the Iron Sheik, the Sheik. My favorite face from the 70s is, of course, the eighth wonder of the world, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, yeah.
The other.
Like
Trenchy, you have the floor.
Oh.
Who is
the 70s?
That's how we started off. The 70s,
Yeah.
80s.
Okay. For heel, I would like to mention Ernie Ladd. I've been watching quite a bit of his stuff. I thought he was interesting. Big dude. Knew how to cheat. Knew how to make people dislike him. Really good at the craft, you know.
Could also cut a hell of a promo for back then, also.
Mm-hmm. I also would like to bring up for like guys you can get behind babyface or whatever. Gorilla Monsoon, man. I think he was a good guy. I'm not sure, but
Gorilla did both sides of the coin.
I like Gorilla, man. I think he deserves more. He slammed Muhammad Ali. he put Muhammad Ali in his fucking place, and it was brilliant.
Yeah. Those are the times where a body slam could be like the equivalent of some wrestling spots nowadays, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nate, you have the floor. 70s heel and face.
Wow. 70s. That's hard. There's a lot of good wrestlers back then. I'm gonna probably pick some obvious ones, mainly because I would watch these. I used to have, before I had the network, I used to watch these old school compilation DVDs, and they would have like all the best of matches and stuff like that. And I always thought, like, Ric Flair was great, of course, in the 70s. I also thought, Dusty Rhodes, great, fantastic in the 70s. So I'd say like my favorite heel from the 70s would have to be Ric Flair. It would just have to be. He was just the pinnacle of the heel in the 70s for me. As far as faces go, I'd say, was Ricky Steamboat wrestling in the 70s, or did he start in the 80s?
Yeah, he was attacking with Jay Youngblood.
Oh,
yeah. I would say I liked Ricky Steamboat a lot too. Big fan of Ricky Steamboat.
All right, Martin, you have the floor.
See, I don't know that much about 70s wrestlers. I do know about Gorilla Monsoon, and I liked his kind of technique, and I liked how much of a fucking beast he was. So I'm probably going to go with that, with heel and Andre for face.
That
Like
Gorilla and Andre
Andre,
and
yeah,
Heel
because Andre the Giant,
are
he was. I think Andre the Giant just I not only his wrestling but some of the drinking stories. Like I heard once when he was throwing a house party, instead of brimming 6 packs, you know the way people bring their own 6 packs to a beer. Fucking Andre turn up with a keg of beer and just fucking drink it an hour, and they're like that's some fucking dude like.
no, Andre's kids are legendary.
Mm-hmm.
And he was literally a gentle giant. Like I don't think anyone ever
Yeah.
had a bad thing to say about Andre.
No.
Yeah, Andre was a legend, man.
Yeah. Okay. 80s is where I'm gonna include the tag teams, because it seems to me like the tag team division really exploded in the 80s. For my heel, I'm gonna go Bruiser Brody.
Ooh, good choice.
My face is I gotta go Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah,
I like you said, Nate. I love Ricky Steamboat, and the guy was the only guy I know who could match Ric Flair in stamina. Ricky Steamboat was a cardio machine.
it's kind of like when Kurt Angle faced. It's kind of like when Kurt Angle was facing Shawn Michaels. Like they went together so perfectly in style.
Yeah. And again, I'm gonna go heel tag team, Midnight Express with Jim Cornette.
Hell yeah.
Face tag team, the British Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just loved how you had Dynamite Kid, who was 5 foot nothing in stature, but could hit you like a Mack truck, and then you had Davey Boy Smith, who was built like a brick wall, but could mat wrestle just as good as anybody. So that's my tag team for baby faces.
Those are excellent choices, man. All excellent choices.
Oh yeah.
And since I think what I want to do is after we get through talking about our wrestlers, that's when I'll go into managers, because I'm sure we all have different opinions on who is the great wrestling mind. But Trenchy, you have the floor. Give us your 80s.
Okay, easy. Well, obviously heel, because you guys already know my heel. It's Roddy Piper, one of the best of all time in my opinion. Cut some amazing promos. Fucking did some crazy ass shit. Some crazy ass shit you can't do on television nowadays. And he's kind of like the Freddy Krueger of wrestlers. He does horrible shit, but he's funny, man. He was so fucking funny, and he had they did the whole OJ chase scene thing at WrestleMania with Goldust. He's just brilliant in my opinion. For good guys, I think I'm gonna go with the Ultimate Warrior. Actually, he gets his due, but at the same time he doesn't. He was great, he's just this big jack dude. And he went to town. He had some great matches with Hogan. He was just a fun character, He had the face paint, and he was just great. Tag teams. I don't know what era this was for like bad guy tag teams. I got to go with the Four Horsemen. What
That
what
would be
what era would that be?
the
That 80s?
80s.
Oh, good. 'Cause that's a tag team right there. Like
But which
you
members
can't.
of the horse? They're always interchangeable.
Hmm. Exactly. It's like
Are
you
you
had.
are you going to say Arn, or are you going to say Owen Arn, or Tully and Rick? You know, all the horsemen are always interchangeable as tag teams. So
I
who are your two that you would call the best tag team?
I like Rick and was it Lex? Was it Lex Luger? Or
Lex
or was
didn't come in
it?
until late, almost 90s.
Oh, who was their original lineup? My bad.
The original lineup
Uh,
was Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Ole Anderson.
I gotta go with Arn then. You know, Arn's probably Arn and Rick, man. Those are the ones I know the best out of the original four. Because Arn was a powerhouse, man. And then you had Rick, who was one of a tactical genius. You know, not on Bret Hart level, but right there.
I would argue that point.
Oh, dude, you think he could? You think he could take on Bret Hart with
He did.
tactic? Oh, yeah. Well, I know they wrestled, but it's like you think he's a better tactician, or at least on the
I would say
level.
they're on par.
I can feel that.
Okay, Nate. Who is your face team, Trenchy?
I don't know what era, but Road Warriors, man. If you're talking tag teams, you cannot bring up the
Road Warriors were 70s and 80s.
Okay, dude. They're like the best, man.
You're taking all the ones I was gonna pick, Trenchy.
My bad, dude. My bad, dude. You still got quite a bit.
No. I'm joking. I was gonna pick the Road Warriors because I like the design of their look and their armor and just they were great at fucking they were great showmen.
Marty, would you say they were like Mad Max-ish?
Yeah, that would be one of the reasons I'd pick it. Yeah, because they were like they were theatrical in that kind of sense, and that's why I liked them. And like, Mark, would the heart was the heart? Sorry, I'm after here. Fucking let Horror Boy fucking go first, man, because I'm jumping in, or has Trenchy even finished?
I'm good. I'm done.
Trenchy's face team was the Road Warriors, although they did both sides of the coin as well. So Nate, you have the floor.
Wow, the 80s, man. What a great time. A lot of good teams and good wrestlers then. Oh, man, where do I start? A favorite face tag team? I'm going to go with tag teams first because that big emphasis on tag teams back then. My favorite face tag team is probably the Von Erichs. I've just, ever since I discovered them, watched some of their old tapes. The Von Erichs, man, it's really sad story about what happened to the family and just how many of them passed away and stuff. But they were really talented. They all had different styles. You know, some were more taller, bigger, brawnier looking dudes. Some were more like average looking guys, and that was very different back then. And they really brought a new style. And one of them, I want to say Kevin Von Erich would wrestle without his shoes, and like that was just different to me. I always found that cool. Like it was unique, and you even see guys like Matt Riddle nowadays. They kind of do the same thing, and it's like, you know, ever since he did that, you can kind of tell it's leaked over a little bit. You know, just little things like that. I've always really enjoyed the Von Erichs. Heel tag teams. Wow, that's hard. Heel tag team. I'm gonna come back to that because nothing's really coming to mind right now. But that's. I'll be back to that in a second. Solo face, probably solo face. I don't want to be obvious and say Hulk Hogan. I'm gonna say probably Ultimate Warrior though. Ultimate Warrior is probably my favorite face from the 80s. Favorite heel? When you look into these eyes, you look into the eyes of a snake. Of course, I got to pick Jake Roberts.
Jake the Snake. Nice.
Yeah, you got to pick Jake Roberts, man, as a heel. That intimidation factor, how everything he did in the ring meant something. Like nobody does that anymore. That's why I missed that era, because people took their characters deadly serious and you bought their characters 100%. And I feel like nowadays a lot of people, they let their characters, they don't let their characters become characters to where you buy them as this person. You're just like, oh, they're just playing a character, you know. I really miss how people like Jake the Snake would approach a character. And as far as the heel tag team goes, again, that's tough because, you know, Road Warriors, I believe, were heels for a minute too before they became faces.
Yeah, like I said, Road Warriors did both sides of the coin.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to really think about that one for a while because it's nothing's really coming to mind. I remember a lot of face tag teams for some reason, but a lot of tag teams.
Let me give you some help here. You had in the '80s, you had the Midnight Express, but you also had Deacon Volkov, and you had Hammer and Beefcake.
Ooh, yeah. Was Demolition around the 80s?
Demolition was also in the '80s, and they were the Road Warrior knockoff.
I'd say I like the Demolition. I believe they were heel. I'd say Demolition.
Okay, Martin.
So 80s face. I'm going to go with. I'm fairly sure it's 80s face. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I fucking loved Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw was 80s.
For a heel, well, I was gonna like the lads both picked two lads I'd pick. I don't want to pick again, but there is one guy I really liked in the 80s, Junkyard Dog. Do you remember a guy called Junkyard Dog?
Yeah, but Junkyard Dog wasn't really a heel. He was more of a face.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Fuck. Ted DiBiase then. I also like Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase is definitely heel.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase was a heel all the way and had the perfect fucking gimmick.
The rich asshole, and he done it so well. And he had who was the guy who went around with
Virgil.
It would never get away. You'd never get away with that. There's the personal African American manservant. It's like, what the fuck? That shit would never fly today. So tag teams. I'm going to need your help on this because I might totally fuck this up. But was the Heart Foundation 80s?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Heart Foundation for I consider them face. They were face, right?
They did both.
Okay. And for fuck it, I'm gonna have to go with the Road Warriors because I thought they were my favorite tag team from the 80s. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ted DiBiase, the Heart Foundation, and the Road Warriors.
Solid choices. Now we're into the Attitude Era. My face is Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can't say wrestlers and not include Stone Cold on the list. My heel is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Face tag teams. This is where it's gonna get really interesting. I'm gonna have to go with Mankind and Chainsaw Charlie. And
Wait, Chainsaw Charlie was an actual thing? I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Oh
Brought to
shit!
Life by Terry Funk.
Yeah, it was what's his name? It was
Terry Funk.
yeah, Terry Funk. It was Terry Funk, and they put a mask over him.
Ooh.
My heel tag team, it's got to be the New Age Outlaws. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, those guys worked so well together. And they were complete heels. So, you're on the clock.
Okay, so for good guys, I'm gonna go with The Rock. They tried to make The Rock a bad guy. They tried their damnedest to make him a bad guy, but they just couldn't because people loved him. He had one of the greatest rivalries of all time with Stone Cold. They made that company. They yeah, you had DX, of course, but it's like they helped make that company what it was. They helped bring the people in, and The Rock. You could talk shit about him going to the movies and shit, but he'll always be one of the reasons wrestling got as big as it did. For bad guys, I'm trying to think. That's hard. 90s is my blind spot. Kane showed up in the 90s, right, as a heel, if I'm correct. I know, or he was still wearing the mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with Kane because that was such a great storyline.
You're not gonna
You had
say
the-
Isaac Yankem?
Huh?
You're not gonna say Isaac Yankem?
I have no idea who that is.
That's Kane.
Oh,
That was
Sting.
Kane before he became Kane.
Oh, okay. That's the dude that became King. Gotcha. My bad. I'm missing all stuff.
He was fake Diesel as well.
Isn't he a fucking? Isn't he a mayor or a fucking governor of some state now?
I think so.
Actually,
Fucking hell.
Yep. I can
Jesse
actually,
Ventura kind of fucking job.
hmm but I gotta go with K-Man because that was such a great storyline. You had Undertaker, you had nothing like him in the WWE, and he was like this otherworldly figure. But then you bring in someone that could match him and kind of, put him in danger
Good choice.
as Kane. Yes, you had Paul Bear turning on him. It was such an amazing storyline. I also gotta go with for tag teams. I gotta go with Edge and Christian for the good guys. At least I think they were good guys. Revolutionized the ladder match. They made the ladder match what it is. Amazing. They had some amazing matches, great chemistry, and bad guys. I gotta go with the outsiders. The Kevin Nash and the dude, Razor Ramon, or before he was Razor Ramon.
Scott Hall.
Yeah, those dude. Kevin Nash is a scary motherfucker, and then you got the other dude, and he was a great.
They're both pretty good size. Yeah, I can understand your reasoning there.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Hall looks homeless. He just the way there. He looks fucking homeless. He looks like some guy who'd rob you coming out of a bus station.
Oh shit.
All right, Nate, give us your faces and heels from the 90s.
wow. You guys picked a lot of good choices. Wow. 90s was cool because you had you didn't just have WWE. You also had WCW and ECW starting up. So it's pretty cool how you had like 3 promotions back then, and plus you still had like AWA, NWA, stuff like that. So a lot of wrestling going on in the '90s. Favorite face though from the '90s. I don't know if anybody picked Bret Hart, but I'd say
Mhm.
Bret was my favorite face. He just ever since I first found him, I always thought he was the best wrestler that I've seen, technical wrestler. I always liked how he perfected his craft and treated it legitimately, never treated it like it was a joke. And I like that because it's sometimes it's hard to find a wrestler that treats it seriously because most are like, oh no, it's all just a gimmick and it's all work and da 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 da. And I'm like, I like when people take it seriously. That's why I love the Japan wrestling style so much because they take it seriously. It's an athletic thing. And I think it is. Like, to be a good wrestler, it takes a lot of great athletic ability. And Bret Hart, to me, really proved that. I mean, he could fly, he could be technical, he could mat wrestle, he could do big, giant spots, could just, fast, stamina. Of the '90s is probably my favorite face. Favorite heel from the '90s? Favorite heel from the '90s? I mean, that was the golden age of heels. Oh, man. I'd say probably this one's probably gonna throw people off, but I always found Hunter Hearst Helmsley to be a great heel. I always just as a
Triple H
kid,
has always been a great heel.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he knows how to make you just like, oh god, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, he's the guy you want to punch in the face.
Right? It's like the Miz, like he just has that natural ability, man. And I remember just being a kid, just hating how he was so elegant, and he would just get in the ring and try to be as flashy as he could be. And I
The
always
bow,
thought Hunter
always,
Hearst
the little bow that he always did.
Yeah, it was just like those little things he would do, the robes, the classical music, just all those really, really made a good heel. Face tag team. Face tag team would have to be probably DX. I know they're technically probably not faces, but they were treated like faces. So, technically they're not faces, but the way they were booked and treated, they weren't treated. So,
Yeah, they didn't. They weren't treated like heels. No.
I'd say I'm going to go out on a limb and say DX face and then heel NWO. Or if I had to pick one, I would say NWO and then NWO Wolfpack being my favorite face tag team because I know that the Wolfpack was a face tag team. So at least I think they were.
Yeah, but which members of the NWO Wolfpack would be your face tag team? Because there was Nash, Hall, Luger, Conan.
I'd say
All,
probably just Sting. I'd say Sting and Nash and Hall were some of my favorites. I like Luger in there too. But maybe just Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, and then Sting. Those were my 3 favorites from that faction. I just loved heels. I loved how Sting was in that
I
faction.
like Sting more when he took on the Crow persona. That was fucking epic.
Yeah. Wolfpack for life, for life.
All right, Martin.
For a heel in the '90s, Vader. I actually used to love Vader.
Wow, I can't believe none of us even thought about Vader.
Vader was a scary motherfucker. I mean, even when he took off the big fucking the Viking helmet fucking Vader thing, he was just Darth Vader fucking gimmick. He's just big fucking monster, absolute fucking monster of a dude. Face. Jesus. See, here's the thing. The '90s is really where I kind of got into wrestling, kind of hardcore and stuff. And so, Jesus, there's so many to fucking choose from. I'm gonna go with Mankind.
Mm-hmm.
Mankind. Yeah, he was. He had the the mankind persona at that time, right? Mick Foley
Yeah.
was mankind in the 90s. Yeah.
Mhm.
Tag teams. Mark, you're gonna have to help me out in this one because again, when I was watching wrestling, I usually whoever I rooted for, I considered the face. So the Dudley boys,
The
the
Dudley
Dudleys,
Boys,
yeah,
3D.
yeah, and for heels, um, who was X-Pac part of?
He was part of DX.
Yeah.
They were
Eh,
um shit. I think I'm after mixing up. Sorry. Were the Dudley Boys faces or heels?
The Dudley Boys did both.
Okay. Can I pick them for faces?
Yeah.
Okay. And the DX team for heels.
That was the New Age Outlaws. Yeah, you could definitely put them as heels because they were.
Yeah, I liked X-Pac. I know he was he was an absolute fucking goose for drugs and drinks and stuff. But there was he had charisma. I don't know why. I really liked his kind of personality.
Yeah.
I think he used to fucking turn up when he had a rivalry with wrestlers. He'd turn up in the audience and just fuck with them to put them off their game as well. So, oh yeah.
Yeah. Now this is 90s is where I'm gonna include the Divas because that's
Mhm.
when female wrestling really started getting getting popular. So my number one face female wrestler from the 90s is Trish Stratus.
Yes.
Yeah, she was mostly tits and mostly ass, but you know what? When she got in the ring, she could go. My number one heel from the 90s is Victoria. She just took the female, role of wrestler and just went completely way far left and was like this evil minx of a woman. So there is my two picks for divas in the 90s.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh, my bad.
Trench, you sexy bitch. You're up.
My bad. Okay, so for heel, I gotta go. I know they weren't really shown as heels, but China, man, China, part of DX, part of they were kind of supposed to be heels, but then everybody rooted for them because they were so awesome. But dude, China was jacked, man, and
Yeah, China's huge.
we were talking about this earlier. She could take it with the fucking dudes, like. She
Yeah.
could take on some of the guys.
She did enter a Royal Rumble, didn't she?
Yeah, she was the first woman to ever enter a Royal Rumble.
I'm trying to think for good guys. Was it we had was Lita in there yet or no?
Yeah, no, Lita can be in there.
Yeah, Lita was
Oh,
part of the 90s because she was part of Team Extreme with the Hardys.
Yes, exactly. And she was fantastic, man. She could again. She went in there and did just as good as wrestling as guys, jumping off of fucking shit. She was badass. She had some great storylines. Most of them for me were in the early 2000s, where she had the best storylines with Trish Stratus and Kane and the baby and all that weird shit. But
Oh Jesus, that fucking storyline.
Yeah, man. Yeah, how can you not love Snitsky punting that baby into the fucking crowd? Man?
It wasn't my fault. And he fucking punched the kid into the fucking floor, bro.
He did
Son of a
fucking.
bitch.
What was it? She ended up miscarrying because she got fucking punched or kicked or some fucking thing. Again,
Yeah,
Attitude Era would never fucking fly in this day and
They
age.
wouldn't know.
Kane raping and like killing and kidnapping people. Like Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, I gotta go with Lita. She was badass. Like definitely. Nate, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry about
You're
that.
good.
You got. We're talking divas now, so give us your two from the '90s.
I'd say heel. Was Jacqueline a heel or was she a face?
Both. She could do both,
Jacqueline.
but she could mainly do. She was mainly a heel.
I'd say Jacqueline was my favorite heel, and then my favorite face would probably be. I don't think Tori Wilson was around yet. Molly Holly. I always liked Molly Holly.
Molly Holly is a good choice. I liked her when she was partnered up with Gregory Helms, and they were the superheroes.
Yeah. I always liked Molly Holly. She just had a really good innocence to her character, you know. She was always a good character.
She's the one that got shaved, right?
Huh?
I said Molly Holly's the one that got shaved, right?
So did China, though.
Not that I'm aware of.
Dude, I think you're thinking of China, Trenchy.
I don't
I
remember
might
her being shaved either. The only person I remember getting shaved was
Oh, shaved. I thought Trenchy said shamed. Sorry.
No, shaved. Hey, Martin.
Hey, Andrew.
So you have the floor, Martin.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Ivory. Can I go with Ivory as a face?
90s she was right to censor, so she'd be a heel.
Ah, shit. Okay. Look. I'm going to go with Lita. So for a face.
Yeah.
And then Ivory as a heel.
Good choices.
Because Lita was like, as you and Trenchy pointed out, she was like, she could fucking wrestle with the best of them. And she was the same level of as the Hardys for technical kind of maneuvers. And like, Jesus, I don't know. To this day, I don't know, was it from some shit in WWE or the set of Dark Angel that fucked her up?
Her when she did Dark Angel, she broke her neck.
She had some kind of accident and fucked up her spine, I think.
She did a fucking Hurricane on fucking Jessica Alba and landed on her head and broke her neck.
Fuck.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And that pretty much ended her career right then and there.
But which is sad because she was fucking an awesome fucking technical wrestler.
Yeah, she was.
2000s.
This is where we're gonna get the most controversy.
Mark, when you said 2000s, do you mean 2000 up until 2009 or 2000 to present?
I'm gonna say 2000 to 2010.
Okay.
And then we'll after we get through 2000, we'll talk about what's going on presently. My number one heel from from the 2000s is the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Brock the Cock.
I do hate him, so it works.
My face is one of my guys that I will always love for always, and that is Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
Mhm.
Tag team. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Hardys because the Hardys were still going strong in the 2000s. Heel tag team is got to be the Godwins.
Godwins.
Oh,
choice.
okay. Fuck, this is a hard area, man. There. I'm actually gonna for face. Can I pick Edge? I know he was a bad guy, but I love the dude. Or I'll make him my heel. I'll make him my heel. Him and Randy Orton are my heels because I can't decide. Because Edge was so brilliant. He was the one, the ultimate opportunist. He was the one that fucking stole the title from Cena. He cashed in that Money in the Bank and was such a revolutionary moment in the WWE. And then he had sex with Lita on stage, and they were actually naked under there. So good for him.
Good for him. That's the only reason Tristan used to like him, guys. He got Lita naked
in the middle of a fucking ring.
Yes.
Live national.
Were they actually bollock naked under there though?
I guess they were, and you could almost see her boob. I guess, I don't know, but
I just see Trenchy in JFK watching the Magruder tape, back and to the left, back and to the left, just trying to spot get some part to lead us this.
Well, you had to be there to see it, man. You had to be in the audience. I wasn't there, but no, and I also got to go with Randy Orton because he had some of the greatest heels. He was one of the greatest heels, in my opinion. First of all, he came in as the Legend Killer, started taking out all these legendary dudes that are beloved. Then he had the thing with John Cena going on, and he had his little army of goons with Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. And he would just look demented when he was pounding on the ground. It looked like he was fucking possessed by the devil at some points. And he was just such a great heel, in my opinion. For face, that's harder. Because I'm trying to pick. It's hard because it's like Shawn Michaels and Triple H were big too. But they were 90s as well, so I don't want to pick them. But it's Undertaker, of course, but he was also 90s. Well, we haven't talked about Undertaker. I'll bring up Undertaker, actually.
I was going to say, nobody mentioned the Undertaker for the 90s, so.
Yeah, the American Badass, man. The American Badass gimmick.
Did you like the whole... Trenchy, did you like the whole biker gimmick?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. I kind of think it fucked with the Undertaker character, but I liked that it gave him a chance to talk shit and be this kind of biker badass, and I thought it was kind of cool. I did like the gimmick, yeah. And dude, some of the best WrestleMania matches were from probably that era. His matches with Shawn Michaels, man, were legendary. Even though he was a heel in that position, but still, they were just some legendary matches. Those two. For tag teams, I guess the New Horsemen, the newer one with Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H, and Batista, man, definitely one of the best heel tag teams you had. Like I said, you had the Animal, you had Triple H, you had Flair back, and then you had Randy Orton with the Legend Killer gimmick. So it was just a fantastic team. For good guys, shit. Probably the Hardy Boys, probably Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. They were still killing it. And they're just great. You can room for them. Team Extreme, man, just cool, badass guys.
Yeah, good choices, man. Excellent decade, man.
Yeah. I think the 2000s had as much, as many good matches as some of the earliers did.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Crime Time.
It was also coming out of the Attitude Era, so they were kind of pushing away from over too much. I think the Attitude Era mainly focused on theatrics, whereas once the 2000s hit, they focused a bit more on wrestling. That's just my own opinion, though. But what do you guys think? Do you think?
No,
It's
I agree.
Yeah, guys in there like Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, and who really took the wrestling side of it very seriously. Eddie Guerrero too.
Yeah. The 2000s was always my favorite era because it was like you took like the Attitude Era was great, but I feel like when you compare the wrestling from the Attitude Era to the wrestling of the Ruthless Aggression era, to me the Ruthless Aggression era, it's my favorite era personally because not only did you have a brand split, you also had these guys who were great characters, but also great wrestlers, great workers, great wrestlers. They could actually hold their own in the ring. And, that's why I always found the Ruthless Aggression era cool because it focused a lot on characters and story and wrestling. And it also had a brand split. And it also had, the blood was still in there. It was still a TV 14 show, but it wasn't like it was straying too far into that PG zone. And it wasn't trying to be. It was also just a good time because that was when, more championships were made. More people were given opportunities. The roster was insanely huge back then. The show, just the way they designed their stages and the way it looked, I always thought was cool. Their video games were good. It was really a great time to be a wrestling fan back then.
I think the tail end of the 90s to the beginning of the 2000s, up as far as 2005, I think was the peak in its popularity, dude. That's when wrestling really took off. The Attitude Era kind of gave people the taste, but then as the 2000s went on, I remember there was a big explosion and interest in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too. I remember being in school and just hearing about these new games coming out every single year and how everybody was playing them and everybody was wearing a wrestling related shirt. And then when you got into the 2010s, that's when it really started to die down fast. I couldn't believe how fast wrestling was going downhill. It was crazy.
They'll never fucking see the ratings or the numbers they had in the early to mid 2000s. Never again.
No, it's just impossible.
No.
Nobody's even watching TV as much as they used to back then.
Mm-hmm.
But to get into the 2000s, though, like I said, it's my favorite era. So my favorite superstars came from that era. Big fan of RVD, big fan of Eddie Guerrero, big fan of Carlito, Bobby Lashley. The Miz was starting to get started. The Boogeyman, cool character. Hurricane. It goes on and on. Even guys like the more lesser known guys like Paul London, I really liked, and Evan Bourne, I really liked, and I missed that era because even if you weren't a big name, you still got TV time and you were still given a chance, whether it was in a tag team or whether it was in the mid card or whether it was for just a small little storyline here and there. They would give guys like Spike Dudley a chance. They'd give guys like Charlie Hawk and give him stuff. Not everything was a winner, obviously. Not everything worked, but they tried to do the best they could with what they had. And I loved how Raw and SmackDown were two completely different shows. But I'd say my favorite faces from that era. Favorite face, probably when Batista became a face. I really enjoyed him. Solo face, World Heavyweight Champion run. I really enjoyed Batista as a face. He was always my favorite growing up, and he's just still my favorite from that era. The look, his promo work, he was a good face and heel. He just had that wrestling ability, in my opinion. He doesn't get a lot of credit. I think Batista, especially after he came back in 2014, everybody kind of crapped on Batista. And I'm like, I've always thought Batista had talent. I've never doubted Batista. He's always been able to talk. He always had a look. And I always thought Batista was cool. So he's always been my favorite face. But he also plays a great heel. Favorite heel from that time, though? Probably JBL. JBL, fantastic heel. He really knew how to get under your skin and make you hate him. His promos were insane. His championship run, I thought, was good because he talked all that crap, and he really made the audience hate him. I loved how he had that storyline with John Cena where Cena couldn't touch JBL, or he wouldn't get his match. And so it would be a thing where, is John Cena going to snap? We're 2 days away from the pay-per-view. Is he going to snap tonight? And JBL would be pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. To me, at that time, John Cena was a great face because he was, he wasn't being shoved down your throat at that point. He was still just being a United States champion. He was still being kind of used here and there. He was still losing too. He wasn't being shoved down your throat.
Nate, they hadn't sanitized him yet, had they? They hadn't turned him into a super fucking Boy Scout character.
No, he was cursing. He was rapping. The things he would say. He was definitely heel back then.
Yeah, when you let, I said the Doctor of Thugonomics was, that's when John really started. People started taking notice of John Cena's when he would fucking sit there and just. The only other guy I ever saw, and he deserves a mention, the only other guy I saw who could rival John Cena on the mic were the 2000s, CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Punk was fucking great, but the dude was so fucking arrogant. That pipe bomb he dropped.
But he could fucking.
Yeah, I agree, man. Punk was actually my favorite wrestler for a while there. When he debuted, I always thought Punk was a great wrestler, good in the microphone. He always had a look to him, and that's why I never got why. Even as a kid, I'd be like, why isn't he being used more? They gave him. I will give him this. They gave him a world championship pretty early in his career. I mean, you think about how long he was in WWE to get a world championship title at that age. Yeah. At that point in your career, and have 2 Money in the Banks, and have tag team wins and ECW championship wins. He didn't get scraps. He got a lot of opportunity.
But Nate, do you think he was right on going fucking apeshit in the mic and just having no showing no appreciation for the company, or just totally bitching about the company and even the fans? He's giving the fans shit as well. Or do you think that was, again, I to this day I don't know if that pipe bomb was kayfabe or if it was genuine. I think it was genuine.
Yeah, I would have to say that was genuine.
Hey, Sasha.
That's why they script it so much nowadays. CM Punk literally changed wrestling. I mean, that pipe bomb is the reason why guys can't go out there and just talk anymore, because they're too afraid to let somebody do that again. I mean, there are guys like Sami Zayn who will sometimes blur that line. They'll say things that'll make you go, "Oh, he mentioned AEW on WWE television." It's that's risky, and you could tell there are guys in there who maybe would, like AJ Styles, I could tell maybe would want to do stuff like that, but they script it so heavily. If you go off script, you get in trouble, or you get fired, or you get fined. So they make it very hard to do stuff like that anymore. And that's a big reason why everything is so scripted now, because of what CM Punk did. You know, he revolutionized wrestling into more of a reality-based type thing. That's why nobody else could cut a promo like him, because, well, he was the only one who could do it without getting fined or fired, or not even caring if he got fined or fired, you know?
They fired him on his wedding.
His wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
CM Punk was risking it, man. He was definitely risking it with how he was living his career.
I liked him, but I can understand why he'd be frustrated, but I didn't like his treatment towards the fans. Just the detestment towards the fan. Sure, didn't he fuck it? He boxed her. Someone slapped him on the back of the ear, and he boxed the wrong fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but I will defend Punk in that moment. If someone attacks you from behind and you don't know who it is, you're going to go after the first person who's behind you.
See,
It was an unfortunate accident, and I feel bad for the dude because that dude didn't deserve to get hit. But the motherfucker that did that shit did. That's why I like the Sabu moment where Sabu was walking to the crowd and then one of the members like hit him, so he jumped over the fucking barrier, beat the shit out of the right guy, and then jumped back and did his match like nothing happened. like don't do that shit.
It's like those guys who jump the barricade to get into the ring. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Oh, dude.
He's just so fucking. Have you guys seen the is it a Mountain Dew commercial or something? It's a Make-A-Wish Foundation. This kid's dying, and like Sting turns up at his house, and he's like getting ready to fight Sting, and he's like, "Oh, wait 1 minute." And he takes us up Mountain Dew, and you think he's going to be able to beat up Sting, but no, Sting just grabs him and fucking slides him across the mantle.
Oh shit!
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's a brilliant commercial. It's either Sprite or Mountain Dew. I'm not sure. But it's this little kid just getting fucked around the place by Sting.
Did you guys hear about Undertaker's stalker and how she beat up Paul Bear?
Yeah. To get to fucking talk to him.
Yes, because what happened is she sent him a letter with a vial of blood saying that she's like a servant of the darkness, and Paul Bear had just turned on Undertaker. So she just shows up and attacks him and like tackles him to the ground and like starts scratching at him and shit. And later that night, Undertaker was in his room with a bunch of the dudes, and she went to his hotel room and tried to get at him, but they were able to get rid of her. But then they ended up going to a gas station later that night because he was bringing the dude home and they wanted smokes. And she was sitting outside the gas station and Undertaker can't go there.
That story's brilliant. I remember hearing that one as well.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Nate, we ended up deviating. So Batista's your favorite face.
Yeah, Batista's my favorite face. My favorite heel, JBL. Favorite tag team back then would probably be Faces. A lot of great heel ones. Like, isn't a Rated RKO? Aren't they heel or are they face?
They were heel.
Yeah, or let's say Rated RKO is my favorite heel tag team. My favorite face tag team was probably. Oh man. Face tag team. I can't think of one right now, honestly. I had a lot of favorite heel tag teams back then. Like Miz and Big Show, they were a good one. Evolution, but they were all heel.
NWO?
Yeah, NWO, they were good heels.
Well, you said Big Show. You could, Y2J and the Show were awesome heels.
Yeah, they were good too. They were great, great heels. I would say probably when DX reformed in the 2000 as faces. I liked them as a face tag team.
Yeah, man. They dropped poop on Vince McMahon and Shane
Yeah.
McMahon. It was
That
great.
was hysterical.
I love the revival of DX. And then like my favorite diva was probably Tori Wilson back then.
Oh,
Tori Wilson at the face, heel, probably Trish Stratus.
I forgot about divas. Yeah. I guess you already.
You had the floor, Martin.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to fucking think again. I know the Big Show fucking switched to a face around the 2000s as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Big Show for face, and do you know who's a fucking great heel? And I loved him. I loved him because he was awesome. William Regal.
Regal was always a great heel.
Yeah, William Regal was.
I love that
man. Probably face tag team Hardy Boys and face heels NWO.
Yeah, because the NWO was still around in the 2000s.
Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan was running that shit, right? On yeah.
What was the one where fucking Undertaker went around fucking recruiting all the dark characters like Gangrel? You had Gangrel.
The Ministry.
Yeah. Gangrel got fired because he didn't tuck in his shirt and his gut was sticking out during a match. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, McMahon was like, "You fat, you're out of here." Poor fucking Gangrel.
Yeah.
SmackDown's tonight, guys. It's actually SmackDown's probably the main roster has to offer right now. Like they've been pretty good.
Yeah, I would have to say so.
I mean, if you don't count NXT, most don't count NXT as like a WWE, like a third brand. I count it as kind of like its own thing.
Yeah.
Nate, what's your thoughts on TNA?
Oh, I love TNA. It got kind of weird in the 2010s, like mid to late 2010s. But I'd say TNA right now is in a good spot. Moose right now seems to be their big head honcho guy. I love Moose. I loved Eli Drake. I love how they bring back some old school wrestlers. How they also have a lot of new school wrestlers. They take guys that didn't work out in WWE so good, like I believe Heath Slater's there too. Zack Ryder, I think he's there too. They take a lot of guys and they give them things to do and they give them chances. I've always loved TNA. I always thought it was a good alternate thing to watch. It was just I hated how they always changed channels. Like you could never just watch TNA because it was on Spike for a while and then that changed like 1,000 other channels. And I didn't really like that because it hurt the company.
Did it alter? Did the kind of sanitization of it alter where and when it could be played? Because I think the more adult kind of like channels that focused on cars and fucking sports and shit done it, the hardcore version of TNA, and then as it went, it kind of got watered down. It got into the more widespread channels. I don't know. We had it over here in around like the early 2000s. I think it was on Bravo, and I remember watching. I was like, "Fuck me, they really don't hold back."
Right. Yeah, they were really good at first. I'd say the golden age was like the 2000s. TNA was the golden era because you had AJ Styles in there, his prime. You know, you had Kurt Angle in there having fantastic matches. Sting, you had a heel Jeff Hardy, which granted, I mean, at that time he was really struggling with drug use and stuff. But
Nate, myself and Mark were talking about the match he had with fucking Steen, and like he came out to that fucking ring, and he was I don't know if it was fucking coke or meth, but he was off his head. And I remember watching an interview with Steen about the match, and I don't know who was in charge. They were like, "Get him out of that fucking ring."
Bischoff.
Yeah, Bischoff was
That
like,
was Eric Bischoff.
"Pin him as soon as fucking possible."
yeah, that's crazy that happened. That was actually a dream match too. Like Jeff Hardy versus Sting. That's a great matchup, you know. And I always kind of wished it would. I don't know if they had a rematch in TNA, but I also thought it'd been really cool if they did have a rematch to kind of, you know.
I don't think Sting would ever fucking. I don't think he'd ever fight against Hardy after that.
Yeah,
Just-
it sucks. I know that Jeff Hardy really regrets that to this day. It kind of haunts him. He said, you know, he wishes that he wasn't dealing with stuff. I think it's just the thing about wrestling is that's the pain that comes with it. It's you want to do it, but it's the pain. And it's the how sore you feel. It's that breakdown of your body that really challenges you as a human. And
like
you know,
guys, I was stuck on an old SmackDown game with my friend Killian, right? And we were watching the intro, and the intro was going through all the wrestlers. And to illustrate your point, Nate, myself and Killian were like, dead, paralyzed, dead, paralyzed, in prison, dead. We were like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Like, it's not a fucking easy existence.
it's very,
always
very hard.
It seems to be very rare that you have a happy ending as a wrestler. Probably better now because there's a lot more restrictions. But Jesus Christ, like going through that old SmackDown game and Killian going, he's dead, he's paralyzed, he's in prison, dead. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, on drugs.
Well,
Most of them are on drugs, really bad.
here's the thing about it is they're always traveling all the fucking time. You gotta train a lot. You gotta get in the ring, and people don't realize this. Yes, it's staged, but the stunts they are performing are real. These guys are stuntmen, and they put on a show. And you know, you can't fake some of this stuff. When they're jumping off the rope, they're actually jumping off a rope and hoping they can land that right without hurting themselves. Every time they get in that ring, they take a risk, and people don't
If they fall off,
realize that.
if you fall off a cell onto a fucking fold-out table, sure you can position yourself in a way you won't fuck yourself up, but it's still gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
still gonna hurt you, fucker. Like,
I mean, even with what I did, like I never even wrestled in a real ring, but I was doing wrestling for a minute there, and you know, there are some things in that you can't fake. Like, you know, I've been legit kneed in the head, like spike knee to the head. It's no game. It fucking hurts. And then, you know, I had a time where I landed on my shoulder wrong, and it kind of like, you know, messed my shoulder up. And I was like, man, like, can you only imagine doing this shit for like 200 plus days a year wrestling on like a hard floor surface? And I was over here thinking like, man, if I'm over here getting kind of hurt just doing this for fun, like I can only imagine doing this full time, day after day after day. Just imagine the kind of pain you'd be in.
topical kind of question. Do you think what happened to Chris Benoit is down to the whole, as you were saying, Nate, the whole lifestyle of WWE, or do you think he was just a fuckhead? I still think he was a fuckhead who shouldn't have killed his fucking family. But you think the WWE played a major part into his psychological fucking breakdown?
Oh man, that's tough. I think it was like a really toxic cocktail of a million things that went wrong at once. I think it was a buildup of his concussions because he had a really, really, really severe brain damage from concussions.
Yeah, he had Jim Cornette did a podcast about Chris Benoit. Well, not about Chris Benoit, but he elaborated on just how bad Chris Benoit's brain damage was. He's like Chris Benoit had the mental capacity of a fucking gnat from all the concussions he'd gotten.
Yeah.
I think Eddie Guerrero's death affected him as well.
Yes.
Because he didn't have many friends, but I think his closest confidant and the person he talked to when he had problems was Eddie Guerrero. And once that kind of lifeline was gone, that was a big drive or a big push for him to slowly deteriorate mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Eddie.
a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff.
Mhm. Eddie's death affected a lot of people. I definitely think it had something to do with Chris Benoit, because if Chris Benoit was already dealing with some shit, and then that happened, and that affected a lot more than they talk about. Sandman had a breakdown like a couple weeks after it happened. He was about to go, he would do his match, and he was breaking down because he couldn't deal with the fact that he just found out Eddie was dead. He still went out and did the match, but that affected way more people than fucking they talk about. Of course, like Batista and Rey Mysterio, but yeah, I do. Eddie's death was just devastating.
Yeah, like all the Latino kind of wrestlers and stuff, they were all kind of, if they weren't cousins, they were fairly close knit.
Yes.
So, but yeah, like the fact is that it was fairly serendipitous when Benoit died, because they were going with a whole fucking plot line where Vince got blown up in a fucking limo, and they literally had to drop it the fucking next night. And I think they hastily did the tribute show, and then they were like, "Oh fuck, we didn't realize this is what happened."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very messy. I do not agree with what Benoit did. I do not agree with it. I do think that, yeah, he was fucked up, but I just wish he didn't, I wish he didn't do it at all, but if he had to do it, I wish he would have just, left it to him.
Himself. Yeah. Not his wife and kid.
Yeah, especially in the way he did it was just horrible and just terrifying. And I did find an interview recently where, like I was saying earlier about Sheik and Honky Tonk and New Jack, and they bring up Chris Benoit, and New Jack has some words to say about that, but that motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah, I seen that interview.
Again, going back to, remember what we were talking about, Mark, the mass transit incident with fucking New Jack. Fucking hell.
Dude, he tried to kill a dude. He threw this dude off a scaffold and was literally admitting, like, yeah, I tried to murder him. And the guy he stabbed, he said, look, that guy deserved to get stabbed, that deserved to die. He deserved to die. I'm glad he didn't die, but he shouldn't have been in the ring with me. And I'm like, dude, no, shut the fuck up.
When interviewed though about the mass transit kid, he was like, the kid wanted me to blade him. His forehead was a pussy, and I was going to fuck it. I was like, that fucking dude gave no fucking shit.
Multiple instances. I think he did this multiple times. Like, because that sounds similar to another thing, but it's like totally different. I don't get why he was allowed to still wrestle. I don't get why the dude's not locked up.
I think he has been.
He's been locked up multiple times.
Yeah, that was crazy. He took a chair and he smashed it. Or this young kid, he was like 19 years old, something like that.
No, 17. Nate,
Yeah.
he was 17. He lied about his age to get in. His father lied.
He did that. That's where he cut the guy's forehead, right?
Yeah, that's That's okay. So a lot of people think it was his fault because he went in very arrogant. He went in very cocky. He was telling how the rest. This 17-year-old kid went into the back. He was telling kids how the wrestling match was going to go. He was fucking smoking in Taz's face, and apparently Taz was like this big fucking health nut, and he was like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" And then to make matters worse, he asked New Jack to blade him. Yeah, you don't, as the Blue Meanie said, he was like, you don't ask someone else to blade you. If you're going to blade yourself.
Right. You don't. What are you thinking? Asking New Jack to blade you? Like, you know.
Yeah, New Jack bladed him all right with a fucking box cutter.
Yeah,
and then as David saying, like, he took a fucking steel chair to the kid's pumping fucking head.
Yeah, he cracked the dude's skull open to where his head was bleeding and shit. Like, he cracked the dude's skull open.
I'm not trying to be a total dick. New Jack went totally fucking. New Jack was an animal, but that kid should have had more fucking cop on. He showed no fucking respect to those wrestlers, and he was a kid. He had never fucking. He claimed some other fucking wrestler and a veteran wrestler had fucking taught him, and he hadn't wrestled before in his life, and just. Yeah, New Jack was wrong to do that, but the kid shouldn't have been in the fucking ring in the first place.
The kid shouldn't have asked somebody else to blade him.
Mike, can I propose a question?
Go ahead. What's up?
Speaking of New Jack, how do you guys feel about him as a wrestler? I'm kind of 50-50. He's a great performer. I watched some of his shit because I just found him recently. And he's a great performer. He's very dedicated. He took like the staples to the eyes. He was a crazy motherfucker. But at the same time, he was out there intentionally trying to murder people, and he was also stabbing people. And I don't think that should be in wrestling. There should be a fine line. So I'm kind of 50-50 on him. How do you guys feel about it?
Out of all the guys I saw in ECW, I never once liked New Jack. I didn't think much of the Gangstas as a tag team. I thought Sabu and RVD were the best tag team that ECW had.
Because they were actually wrestlers. It seems New Jack was more about using weapons, and yes, Sandman was that too. But Sandman never tried to intentionally kill anybody. Yeah.
According to New Jack, and this is his words in an interview, he says, "I fucking love wrestling. What other sport lets me injure white people?" And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I said, I never, as far as ECW guys go, my favorite guy was always Taz.
Yes.
The human suplex machine.
Yeah, Taz looked like he had no fucking neck. It was just like fucking shoulders, arms,
fucking muscle up there.
Plunked. Oh. You know what Taz looked like? Mark, do you know what Taz looked like if a fucking wizard turned a car jack into a human being?
But as far as ECW guys go, Taz was my favorite heel. Spike was my favorite face.
Mm-hmm. I gotta go with like Sandman and Sabu as two of my favorites. I love Tommy Dreamer too, even though. Did you guys hear about how Tommy tried to assassinate Eric Bischoff? Well, he was thinking about assassinating Eric Bischoff, and then I think it was Jim Ross talked him out of it.
No, I never heard that.
He was going to like snipe.
But it does sound like something JR would do.
He was depressed. And Eric Bischoff was like screwing him over. And Dreamer was sticking with ECW, but Eric Bischoff was doing some grimy shit. So Tommy was literally thinking about murdering at this event he was gonna try to assassinate Eric Bischoff and like shoot him and
Eric
shit.
Bischoff or Paul Heyman?
Or Paul Heyman, my bad. Paul Heyman. They're
You're
both
giving
big
me bad lines in the
guys.
script, Bischoff. I want a media role.
They're both loud out mouth assholes. But anyways, yeah, the Dreamer, but Jim Ross, I guess he talked to, I think it was Ross, and yeah, he was able to talk him out of it, fortunately. So, but he planned it all out.
Mark, I got a question, if I may.
By all means.
Favorite stupid, absolutely stupid, ridiculous, retarded, feckin' kayfabe moment in wrestling. You love it because it's so fucking. Mine has to be where I think The Rock is bundled into an ambulance after getting injured, and then Stone Cold drives an 18-wheeler into the ambulance.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think my favorite would probably have to be the whole Cobra incident with Dick the Snake Roberts and Macho Man.
What happened to that one? He poisoned him, did he? He poisoned Macho Man.
He had the Macho Man tied up in the ropes, and he got it was a real cobra. It was a good 15-foot cobra, but the cobra had been defanged. So there's no way the cobra could have bitten Macho Man whatsoever.
I got a few, if I may.
Go for it, Trenchy. I've one or two more as well.
First one, Stone Cold trying to break into Brian Pillman's house. Brian Pillman pulls out a gun, and you think he shot him, and they just go, they fade to black, and it looks like Brian Pillman shot fucking Stone Cold. It was probably one of the coolest, worst moments ever. Two, Undertaker murdering Paul Bear with that cement glass trap, because that was just
that
shit.
was fucking funny.
Like, I actually got forced, Snitsky punting the baby, because he punted a baby into the stage. That's great. And the whole rivalry between Chavo Guerrero and Hornswoggle, where they had a bunch of matches and Hornswoggle kept beating Chavo. Like, you remember that?
Yeah.
That was good.
Trench, you might be able to help me out here. Whose apparent quote unquote wife's corpse was defiled by Kane? He screwed her, and I literally screwed her brains out, and it just shows him naked in the casket, holding up the brains.
Dude, I think I missed that one. That sounds amazing.
I don't remember whose wife it was supposed to be.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right, Mark?
Yeah, I want to say it was. Who the fuck was it?
It was up in the Tritantron, and just I was it Kane? It was someone with a.
It was Kane. But I don't.
You're talking about the Katie Vick storyline.
Yes.
Oh,
thanks, Nate. He's just I screwed her brains out. These like.
They had like a doll in this coffin, and it was like Kane gets in the coffin, starts humping it and stuff. I'm like, what the hell?
And then he climbs in bollock naked, and he holds up these brains.
Oh, I got one. I gotta add. The Mae Young giving birth to a hand.
He's like, I never did, Kane.
That shit was fucking hysterical.
Mm-hmm. Mickey James running around and sexually assaulting people.
Because the whole thing that was so funny about it was, they had been building up, Mark Henry as this, with he's this big black man, but his sexual prowess is like fucking unmeasurable.
Yeah.
So he seduces Mae Young, and Mae Young gives birth to a fucking hand.
Yeah.
There was one that was supposed to be Hogan versus. Hogan was worried about fucking Warrior coming back, attacking him, and he was seeing reflections of the Ultimate Warrior in the mirror, and somehow we were able to see reflections, but the other wrestlers weren't able to see the reflection. It was just Hulk Hogan and the audience that could see the reflection of of the Ultimate Warrior in the mirror.
I don't see anything, Hawk. He's like,
Eric, you don't see that in the mirror? No, what are you talking about, Hawk? Like, you don't see that, brother?
Nate, have you any favorite kayfabe, absolutely ridiculous kayfabe moments?
I would say like a lot of the when Undertaker would just pop up, like that moment where he was like Teddy Long gets in this like limousine, and Undertaker turns around and goes, "Where to, Teddy?" And Teddy Long goes like, and then like the lights go out and the whole thing fills with mist. Or the Shock Master. Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna get you. It's the Shock Master.
he fell in his ass. He fell right in his ass.
Fair play to Luger. Was it Lex Luger he was threatening? Luger kept a straight face, but you could tell
No,
they were
it
on
was
the
Flair.
Huh?
It was Ric Flair and Arn Anderson with Woman.
But I thought Lex Luger was there as well. No?
No, it was Sting, Flair, Anderson, and Woman, and
Okay.
Shockmaster was Sting's mystery partner.
Yeah, they came out. I thought it was Luger, and yeah, sorry about that, dude.
Oh, no worries. But that shit was funny as hell.
But yeah, you could tell the guys were doing their best. They were like they were on the prick here of bursting out laughing from when your man came through. Yeah, there's some great kayfabe moments. Like there's a bit where Mankind sent the Undertaker to hell, and the Undertaker literally came up through the ring to get him.
Yeah.
they said, "Do you want a piece of me, Sid?"
Trying to think other ones.
What, Nate?
Go on.
Master, he was like,
Come on, Sid. You want a piece of me, Sid?
Yeah, dude, that's a great impression, dude. Go on, do it again. Do another one.
I'll fight you all at the fall brawl.
And just the look, he had like this big woolly coat with no sleeves and the fucking glitter covered stormtrooper helmet. You're like, what the fuck?
it was so bad.
Can I do another one? I got another one.
By all means.
There was a period of time where DX came back and Shawn Michaels kicked that girl in the face at the diner, and they had just come back and they were decorating a Christmas tree, and then I think Hornswoggle was like in their Christmas tree and was like being their pest because he wanted to be like their fan, but they wouldn't let him part of DX, so he like is attacking them in the Christmas tree and shit.
What, you mean like Gremlins? Where the Gremlins inside in the Christmas tree?
Yeah, and there was another one where Triple H, like, he let Hornswoggle be part of the crew. He duct taped Hornswoggle to a skateboard, and Shawn Michaels is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm taping my midget to a skateboard and seeing how far he goes." And then he pushes the skateboard and it knocks over Jillian Hall, and then Triple H just runs away.
I have a kayfabe wrestler. Their persona is pure kayfabe, and it might lead on to another question if Mark's interested in it. A wrestler I do not know how they got away with, Eugene.
Yeah,
I don't think that was an act on Eugene's part.
no, that wasn't.
He wasn't. He didn't. Dude, Eugene, there was no way that wrestler had Down syndrome. or any
No.
learning difficulties. No fucking
He
way.
has a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel, and he talked about playing the character. That guy, no, he doesn't have Down syndrome at all.
Can you? What corporation? Can you imagine a corporation that'll do that? Although I wouldn't put it past WWE at back then, but
Hmm.
any wrestlers you think that are absolute fucking disasters? That the really bad idea in hindsight that
How long do we have?
it's your stream, dude.
Let me think about that one.
I know
I got
there was an Italian guy who pretended to be Iranian or from Irania or Afghanistan.
Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah. He was great. That was sad because he was a great fucking wrestler. But I think when the London bus attacks happened, they just scrapped the character altogether.
I got two actually now.
Let me think. As far as like just wrestlers that were bad ideas and it just I think the whole not him as a wrestler, but the whole gimmick, the whole Blue Blazer gimmick for Owen Hart was a travesty.
Yeah.
That's what got him killed, was it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they I don't even think he wanted to do that stunt, but they kind of made him do it.
Yeah, that was Vince Russo pretty much told him he had to do it.
Yeah.
It was and they didn't even have the normal guys, you know, because Owen had done the stunt before, but it had been done by, you know, all his gear had been checked by professionals, and these guys were just fucking nickel and dimers.
You remember just look at me. Ain't I sad to see? The whole damn world wants to look like me, but they don't. So just look at me.
Rene Dupree.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. No. Rob Conway.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, I don't know what they were trying to do with that heel, but man, it just did not end up working.
Wasn't there a fucking Minotaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, El Torito. I think they actually called him on live TV. They called him something El Toro, and then Heath Slater was like, "It's not El Toro, it's El Torito."
Mhm.
And there was a fucking mummy as well. There was a fucking mummy that wrestled as well.
Yeah, the Yeti.
Yeah, that was that. Why do you call a fucking mummy a Yeti? Like, what the fuck?
You want to know who? Yeah, but the truth is, you know who the Yeti was under all that rapping?
Undertaker?
Kevin Nash.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Kevin Nash, and then Kevin Nash was also the Wizard.
Mm-hmm. And Vinny Vegas.
Yeah.
There was some other fucking monster wrestler resurrected by Papa Shango as well. I'm trying to think. What was it? Go back a bit. Focus.
Didn't Vince McMahon try to fight God once?
Yeah! He went into church.
Oh, yeah, it was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels had the tag team with God against somebody, and he got the shit.
No. Mark Trenchy's right, because McMahon went into the ring and he said, "God's going to appear," and this white light just came down into the middle of the ring. It's like he starts trash talking God.
I remember it.
Like he was desecrating churches and shit. Like it was.
Yeah,
It was the
he
thing.
went into one church trench. He drank some holy water, and under Triple H spit.
Oh god.
So
Like
Oh,
that.
guys, you guys know what happened on a? It was this is like a newer thing that happened. So Roman Reigns, you guys know who Roman Reigns is.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
You know how they call him the big dog, right?
Mhm.
I didn't know that, but now I do.
Yeah, he's called the big dog, and so one of the heels in the show, they handcuffed him to a one of those poles on the ring, turnbuckle poles. They handcuffed him to it, and a dog mascot came out and poured dog food all over Roman Reigns. Cause get it,
I
he's the
remember it.
dog.
It was Corbin.
Yeah, it was Baron Corbin. He had this giant mascot dog come out and pour dog food all over Roman Reigns. I was like,
It was
what
Corbin
the
and
hell?
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, it was so bizarre.
Do you guys remember when it was a match that went wrong? It was between John Cena and Batista, and Batista knocked Cena out by accident, knocked him out of the ring, and then McMahon was furious. He came fucking sliding into the ring and tore both his I think
Quads.
his ligaments.
He tore he tore both of his quads
Yeah,
off the
and
boat.
he's just sitting there because he can't fucking move, and he's not trying to break kayfabe, even though he's totally fucking rendered immobile. You can just
Wait.
imagine. You can imagine how worried fucking Batista and Cena are when they went backstage after. Sorry, Trenchy.
Wait, so what? Vince McMahon broke Batista's ligaments, or
No.
No, Vince tried to slide in under the ring ropes and tore both of his quads at the same time.
What happened was, Trenchy, it was a fight between Batista and
John Cena.
John Cena, and Batista knocked Cena out of the ring. If I'm not, is that right, Mark? He knocked Cena out of the ring when he wasn't
It was
supposed
on
to.
Dream Street.
Yeah, and McMahon was so pissed off, he came out to give kind of just try and fucking salvage the match, and as he slid out, what was it? His quads, Mark? Yeah.
Yeah, it was quads. When he stood under the ring, he tore both of his quads at the same time. So when he tried to get up, he fell right back on his ass, and everybody was like, "Oh, we gotta get Vince out of here."
Yeah.
They knew he'd fuck himself up.
I have another one about the time where DX, they were cutting a promo, I think, and what happened was Triple H is like it was Triple H and a bunch of the DX members, and they had this like teenage girl or college girl back there, and they go and pretty much they go to like sexually assault her. It makes it seem like that, and then they cut stuff black, and then later on Triple H was like, "Yeah, we did that to prove a point that we can do that to Stephanie McMahon if we wanted to," and it's like, why is this a thing?
Trying to think of other fucking crazy kayfabe moments.
Um,
I know. I showed it to you guys. Where RoboCop saved Steen.
yes,
And fucking what was it? Chucky giving Scott Steiner shit.
mhm. I'm trying to think. I know there was a couple pretty bad ones, like they would try to murder each other a lot. I know that was a storyline. Like I know Kane kidnapped Stephanie McMahon and was like holding her hostage. like above this thing and was gonna drop her. Triple H had to save her or some shit.
That was the Undertaker.
Oh, the Undertaker had to save her, or the Undertaker kidnapped her. My bad.
Yeah, the Undertaker had kidnapped Stephanie, and Austin was the one who saved her.
Austin. Okay, my bad. No, I knew the situation. I just forgot the players.
Do you guys remember the first Rock versus Hogan match?
First, I thought there was only one.
No, there's been a couple. I'm pretty sure there's been a couple.
I only remember one from WrestleMania 7.
That was probably the first one. Was that the one, Mark, where The Rock came out and he was doing "Can you smell boo? Can you smell boo? Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?" And then everyone cheered.
The Rock was supposed, Hogan was supposed to be this is when they had brought the NWO back to, they had brought the NWO back to the WWE. And Hogan was the quote unquote heel, but because they were in Toronto, Hogan was getting cheers and Rock was getting booed out of the building.
It was a clash of the old legend versus the new legend at the time, and it was a big fucking deal. It was up there with Batman versus Superman kind of fucking level of anticipation for a match.
But that movie sucked.
Yeah.
No offense.
But no, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do, because I was hyped for that too. I used to be hyped, and I love it when they face off in the cartoons, of course, in the comics.
But like that was what I mean, Trenchy, is that was the equivalent of that in wrestling, to have The Rock versus Superman, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
Well, he does face like what they called Black Superman in the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Yeah. He probably will face Superman because he's going to be playing Black Adam as well. But and sure, fucking Superman fought Ali in a comic.
Yeah, he did.
I'm going for the Thor versus Godzilla movie.
I think Thor could pull it off. If anybody can do it, it's Thor.
I want Jason versus Captain America.
Oh shit! Captain America would get slaughtered.
I do want Freddy versus Wolverine in the dream world. I think that could, and then he pulls him into the real world, but it's like Nightmare 2. He still has his powers. I think that could be good.
Batman versus Michael Myers. Just
neither of them
can see each other. Neither of them can see each other. Where's that fucker? This is like a game of Marco Polo.
But yeah, Mark, I guess what you have next for us.
Well, I guess we have to talk the 2010s. That's the only thing left. 2010 to now.
I'm not super up to date, so I'll do my best. But
I think my heel has got to be The Miz.
Yeah.
The Miz just makes you hate that prick. I mean, you want to punch The Miz in the face when he gets on the mic. My heel or my face is I gotta go with the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Heel tag team. I'm gonna have to go Nakamura, and Cesaro.
Good choice.
Face tag team, I gotta go with the Usos.
Oh, you choose face Usos over heel Usos.
I'm choosing face Usos over heel Usos. My diva for the 2010s, I gotta go with Charlotte Flair.
Nice.
I know a lot of people, a lot of people don't like Charlotte, but therefore, before Becky Lynch and everybody else started getting their push, Charlotte was the workhorse of the of that women's division, and still is.
Yeah.
So Charlotte Flair is my diva for the 2010s to now.
Okay, before I start, could I do my like early 2000s divas real quick?
Did you do the 2000s yet?
I didn't do the divas. I didn't do the divas. I did the guys. I was gonna do that real quick.
Go for it.
Okay, so for face, I gotta go with Kelly Kelly. She was awesome. You know, she was badass. And we went to an event once when I was little, and she was in the crowd, and my stepbrother tried to seduce her when he was a kid, and I think he did a decent job. So, yeah, Kelly Kelly. And for heel, I gotta go Michelle McCool. You know, the ultimate mean girl and the bitch, and spectacular. And she's married to the Undertaker. But for 2010s, I lean more towards early 2010s, so I'm gonna go for face. I'm gonna go Kofi Kingston. I really enjoy Kofi Kingston. He's fun. He's got the boom boom boom, you know, with the fireworks. He had the Jamaican music, and he was a fun character. I really enjoyed him. Fun finishing moves. Really really energetic. Bad guy. I'm really starting to like the I don't really watch like the shows anymore, but I watch clips. I like the Fiend. I think he's an interesting gimmick. I like how it's kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and yeah.
Yeah, that is an excellent gimmick that they came up for Bray Wyatt.
I think it's like kind of like they're going back to doing original stuff, and I like that. Tag team. Probably this is early 2010s, I believe, is Nexus, right? When NXT had that huge, they came in and they formed Nexus with their pretty much. They were, yeah, Mark.
I can't. I don't remember when Nexus was, but since I'm not sure, I'll go for it.
Yeah, I don't know modern wrestling that well, man. But yeah, Nexus was brilliant. For good tag team, I'm not sure. Like, to be honest, I don't know who's really. I don't know that much, but I'll just skip the divas and go with like Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa Bliss is great. She does horror cosplays and stuff. She's really fun. And plus she's got that.
You probably wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crisps. Admit it.
Nah, man.
For all we know, Trinchy's probably had her in bed.
I've never had Alexa Bliss in bed. I've never done that. No.
For all we know, Alexa Bliss sends Trinchy panties.
Probably. No, that's sly fucker.
Alexa Bliss has never sent me panties, man. Never have.
You're right.
Shut up, Alexa.
He sent her a thong. She sent him a thong. She sent him a thong.
I like how we have to tell Alexa to shut up when we start bringing up panties.
Because the Alexa started talking, and it's like, no, I'm not talking to
Oh,
you.
Alexa's there with you now.
Ah!
There with you now.
No wonder he's so
Screw
distracted.
him now.
No, not the real one. The other. Wait,
Oh, it's
Jesus.
he's got a life-size action figure of Alexa.
With voice activation, no less.
Yeah, all working parts. Make sure you clean it when you're done, Trenchy. Okay.
Jesus. It's like between the mannequins and fucking this. Jesus, I don't know.
Mannequin fucking. Okay, Trinchy.
Corey got me, man.
To quote the fucking poem about the cat, if I fits, I sits, and if I fits, I sticks. So yeah, that's Trenchy's mattrap. There's a hole, he'll stick it.
Have you guys seen Corey's video about the
No,
Rocky Horror Picture Review?
no.
He reviewed Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he kind of took a gag at me in the intro song because there's a running gag between me, him, and John and stuff, and it was kind of funny, involving mannequins.
Sexy stuff.
Okay, Nate, give us your 2010s.
2010s, very different decade. This is when we started to see the wrestling scene really change. This is when pro wrestling kind of dropped off. Really, numbers were starting to get low. This is just a time when people were kind of dropping off for pro wrestling. I would say my favorite face from this decade would probably be CM Punk. Great in the mic, great in the ring, and just altogether really talented dude. Favorite heel, Seth Rollins, his authority heel figure. I could say any heel, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is a great heel. He's also a great wrestler. Favorite face diva is Asuka. Favorite heel diva, huh?
I love Oscar.
Yeah, Asuka's great. I love where she's at right now too. Like she's screaming, she's crazy. I love Asuka right now.
Nate, that's like because over in New Japan Wrestling, the female wrestling is almost it's nearly to the same level as the male wrestling matches, whereas it's still not as big as it could be in the WWE in Japan. There's an entire movement that supports us. They appreciate the female wrestlers a lot more over in New Japan, and I think that's why she kind of excels over here.
Yeah, I'm glad too because I've seen the women's division in New Japan, and it's intense. They don't play over there. They actually like
Oh yeah,
matches and shit.
they fuck each other up like.
Yeah. Like, what'd you say to me? Elbow to the face. I was like, ooh.
Nate, if you get a chance, check out a YouTube channel called Super Eye Patch Wolf. He's an Irish guy who does horror films, but he also focuses on wrestling, and he mainly focuses on wrestling in New Japan. You might find it interesting.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'll check him out. Thanks for the recommendation. What's his channel name?
Super Eye Patch Wolf.
Alrighty, I'll sub to him. But I would say probably my favorite heel and face divas. Face diva would be Asuka. Heel diva would be probably, I don't know. I was actually a really big fan of Emma. I thought she had a lot of potential, and then I don't really get why they didn't use her again. Big fan of Emma. Big fan of Ronda Rousey. She was a good heel for a minute there. I thought that Paige was a great heel. A lot of good picks there for heels, but I'd say probably Paige. But also, like I said, liked Emma. I liked the Iconics, Peyton Royce. Those are great heels. And then tag teams, face tag team, probably the Street Profits, heel tag team, probably New Day when they were heel. Or I would say either New Day or heel Usos are my favorites.
Will I go next, Mark?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to be a total patriotic bastard and go face Sheamus.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love Sheamus.
And
Like,
then for heel, I'm going to stay being a patriotic bastard and go with Finn Balor.
Both, yeah, because both do both sides of the coin.
And staying with Divas, again, waving the fucking Irish flag, Becky Lynch. She's cute as fuck, but she can fucking back it up as well for a face. And then for a heel, I'm going to go with Paige because she graced the internet with some fantastic pictures. But yeah.
And a fantastic video.
great. You guys are going to have me doing research. What the fuck?
You haven't seen it?
Come on. You don't need it. You were there when those pictures were taken. There's a
Richie was the guy
Trenchy on
the whole
the
movie.
picture of Trenchy on the fucking toilet while Paige has her leg up in the fucking leg
What
up in
the
the sink.
Why? No! You fucking bastard!
Oh, Nate, in case you're wondering, we're not usually this cruel to Trenchy. We're much, much worse.
Yeah. We're usually a lot meaner to him.
But yeah, I don't have enough info, or I don't know enough about current tag teams, so I'm gonna leave out the tag teams.
You would probably you could always put Miz and Morrison together as heel tag teams because right now
Again, I don't know. I've seen sporadic matches, so I haven't seen that many new kind of thing. Was Latino Heat still around at that time?
no.
Okay.
Once Eddie died, that was the end of Latino Heat. Or Los Guerreros, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also going back to Paige, you know what? She is a good wrestler. Like, you know, I'm not going to totally objectify her. Again, because
we objectify. No, the only person we objectify is Trenchy.
Okay, fuck you. Anyways, all the women we brought up are good wrestlers. We didn't just bring them up for looks. They all are good in the ring at fighting, not at what you're thinking, sick bastards. But yeah.
But when Trenchy, you saying they're good at other stuff, like?
I don't know. Like,
no, come on, hold on a minute now, because there's a bit of insider knowledge here. I can hear it in your voice.
No. Dude, I wish, but no, it's like never happened.
Have you done a bit of mattress wrestling yourself with some of the ladies?
Wait a minute. Why do people accuse me of fucking my mattress? This has happened before.
Dude, like, I did not say you were fucking your mattress. I implied you were fucking a chick on your mattress.
Oh, okay. That didn't happen either. But yeah.
Oh my
god.
Now I'm wondering, Trenchy, if you have a hole cut in your mattress and you actually like you're just digging a hole.
What happened was my dog bit a hole in my mattress a long time ago, and then I was accused.
Your dog was involved.
Or is that just a position?
No. Wait, we've established that he doesn't use toilet paper, he uses small pets.
No, I do not wipe my ass with animals.
Mark,
We are not
Mark,
bringing this
get
up
your dog
again.
to the screen. Trenchy will get fucking excited. Get the dog out of there, quick.
No, I don't have the dog at the moment. And second of all, I would never put him near my ass.
Yeah,
But,
sorry, that's kittens. Sorry, use kittens for that. Sorry.
No, I do not use cats, dude. They would like fuck up my ass and make it bleed. And second of all, I don't wipe my ass with animals. I
Wait,
wipe
how
my
do you
ass
know?
with toilet
Wait.
paper.
How do you know that they fuck up your ass and make it bleed?
Cause they'll just claw you. They have claws. It's common knowledge. I don't have to
Not
stick an animal in my
not
ass
to
to
me,
know
it isn't,
that.
sir. Not to me, it isn't. Mark, does this sound like first-hand knowledge more than common knowledge to you?
This sounds like carnal knowledge to me.
What?
What about you,
does
Nate?
that mean?
What do you think?
Nate is just in order more if I go in. I thought we were going to talk about wrestling.
Oh man, Trenchy, man.
Nate, I just want to let you know, I don't listen to these motherfuckers. I don't do that.
Nate, he's a fucking beast. He's a beast. In some parts of Europe, the name Trenchy is also synonymous with the term tripod. Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, dude.
But no, we're just ragging on Trenchy. We know that he's on the up and up when it comes to sex with ladies. It's just all ladies.
No.
Morning, noon, and night.
You got them bodies, man.
Yeah. It's the washboard chest. They want the washboard. That's what it is. They want to rub that washboard. Isn't that right, Trenchy?
No, I'm a virgin. I don't know shit, but thank you.
Me and Trenchy in the V Club.
Not more of that.
Oh yeah.
Not. Don't worry about that, lads.
We're good. But yeah, let's Mark. Let's get back to wrestling.
Okay. Well, since Martin left out tag teams, so now is when I'll turn to managers.
Oh hell yeah.
My number one manager face has got to be Miss Elizabeth. She was the premier face manager. Whether you like it or not, Miss Elizabeth was the standard bearer for female managers in the 80s. My heel. I gotta go classy Freddie Blassie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. He was in the Goonies music video, so I like him. Oh shit! Do I go now or?
Yeah. You gotta do it. Distracted by all the ladies there.
I'm gonna go with heel first, and I gotta say, Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji was fucking awesome. He was Yokozuna mainly that I know of, and he would just go around.
Morocco.
Oh, he had another guy? I didn't know he had another guy.
He had Morocco before he had Yoko.
Okay.
And he
I
also managed Demolition.
I didn't know that. But,
He managed Demolition also.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But he had the look, he had the top hat, he had the cane, he would throw the dust in people's faces. He was awesome. He looked like a supervillain, and it was brilliant. I love Mr. Fuji. And for good guy, I gotta go with I think didn't Captain Lou, he manage for a little bit?
Yeah,
I
Captain
love
Lou,
Captain
manager.
I love fucking Captain Lou in any form, in the ring or managing or cutting promos. Captain Lou's just awesome. I don't know that
I'm
many
Captain
managers.
Lou and I'm coming to you.
Yes. He was Mario, man. He was
Yeah,
fucking Mario.
he was the one that got Cyndi Lauper into the WWE, didn't he, Trenchy?
Yes, they were best friends. That's why the Goonies music video was like that, because Cyndi Lauper was friends with Lou, and then Lou was able to get like all the heels like Lassie and Piper and Volkov and Andre the Giant at the good guy at the end. He got all those people involved. I love that music video. But yeah, I'm done on that. That's my two.
Nate. Nate. Nate.
Come back to me.
No, I'm sorry. I forgot I was muted. I was over here talking and I was muted. I remember that music video too, because wasn't that the one where it's like, girls, they want to have fun? Or is it the other one?
That,
It was
he was her dad in that video, but it's Goodies is good enough. Is that the one, Trenchy?
Yes, it's a two-part music video for the Goonies movie, and Steven Spielberg even makes an appearance. It's my favorite music video of all time because, of course, it's my favorite movie mixed with those wrestlers of that era and Cyndi Lauper, and it just worked.
So is it like our favorite music videos with wrestlers in
No,
them?
No,
manager.
manager.
What?
Managers.
Manager.
Managers. Okay. Managers. From what decade?
Of all time.
Any,
Oh, of all
anyone
time.
would want.
Any decade.
I would say my favorite face manager. It's a really hard one to find because most managers are heel.
Mhm.
My favorite face one though, probably. Okay, I want to go with heel first. Heel's a lot easier. Heel is probably Jimmy Hart. Face manager. I really can't think of one right now. Most of them are really heels.
Yeah, it's very hard to think a face manager. I was trying to find something there myself.
I mean, yeah, like Miss Elizabeth, like
Paul
Mark
Bearer?
said.
I guess Paul Bearer.
Yep, because when Undertaker went face, so did Paul Bearer.
Oh. Yeah, Paul Bear was fun, man. I really enjoyed Paul Bear.
Those are my
Face
favorite.
ones are fucking hard to think of.
You want me to buy you some time? Because yeah, that is hard to.
There must be some good face fucking managers.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the manager for fucking Hogan and Macho Man?
Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
He was perfect. I'm actually looking up managers right now to try to.
Who's the dude with the mullet and the mustache and the big glasses?
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart both because he managed Hulk Hogan and he managed Honky Tonk Man. So Jimmy Hart could definitely be a face manager if you wanted him to be.
Oh no, he wouldn't work. I'm going through them now, and most of them are heels. It seems like because you got Paul Heyman, you had Jim Cornette, Bobby the Brain, you know. Look,
Who was the IRS guy? There's a dude, there's a manager who was an IRS collector.
That was Mike Rotunda, IRS, Erwin R. Shyster.
Jesus.
oh, I forgot Vicky Guerrero was a manager. She's definitely a heel though.
Don't forget, Trish Stratus started out as a manager.
Mm-hmm. Oh hell yeah, man! There's a Paul Ellering. I guess he worked with the Road Warriors.
Yeah, he was the manager of the Road Warriors. Definitely a face manager.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for my heel, I'm going to pick sensational Sherry Martel.
Yeah, she definitely fits because she managed the Macho King when he went heel.
She also managed. Oh Christ, what's his name? He used to eat the turnbuckle. He's like a really old famous wrestler.
Heel.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say George the Animal Steel?
Yeah. She managed him for a while.
Yeah, I know who that is. He was in Ed Wood.
Yeah. He played Tor Johnson.
Yeah. But yeah, why do you think they went more with heel managers than they did with face?
Maybe the concept of an authority figure as a villain is more accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. What's up, Tritchy? What is he laughing?
No, it was a little silent. I laughed.
Yeah, awkward.
Trinity was laughing because Alexa had showed up on his doorstep.
I think I cry. I don't know how I would take that. Like, I probably
Really?
shit my pants. Yeah, well,
Why?
dude, I wouldn't know what to do.
You'd be like, hey, do you want to come in for some Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew?
Yeah, well, yeah, we would just hang out. I wouldn't try
Yeah,
to
play
do
Scrabble.
anything. Yeah, well, probably not Scrabble, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Scrabble. Like Trenchy would be like flirting, like, oh, here are the letters I've left: B, L, O, W, J, O, B.
Fucking nah. That reminds me of that tag. Someone did like a contest or a tag, and one of the questions was like, what like if you could spend like Halloween with all these horror icons, female icons, which ones would you choose? And everybody was like talking about like fucking them and shit. And I'm like, that's never gonna happen. So, I just chose ones that I thought were cool. I wasn't trying to bang any of them.
Wait, like male characters.
Oh no, female. It was female icons.
See, that's why I like you, Trenchy. You're a fucking saint. It's if aliens came down and like these things are dangerous and horrible creatures, I'd just show them Trenchy and they'd be like, they're lovely. They'd pat you on the head and give you now chocolate bar and then fly off.
I'm not a saint. I mean, if they wanted to, I would do it, but it's like it's up to them. I'm not a rapist. It's like, you know.
Like
Let's say what they're thinking.
Trenchy, that is the perfect opener for a job application. I'm not a rapist. Why, Mr. Bradley? Why do you think you deserve this job? I'm not a rapist. That's fairly good criteria. Have you ever murdered anyone? No. My God, your resume is perfect. I also see you have no genocide down here. We're happy with that. We're happy with that. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Well, what have you for hobbies? Taking your vitamins and saying your prayers. You've got the job.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh wait, someone's in the chat.
who's in chat?
I don't know. Gibber.
Person in the chat.
I did talk to Sasha earlier when he was here. I said, hey. Okay, is John Cena the GOAT? Like, do you think John Cena is the greatest of all time?
No.
No, definitely not.
I agree. I was talking to Nate last night, and I think John Cena is kind of like Hulk Hogan. Like, they were kind of overplayed, you know. They were trying to force something. I think it worked better with Hulk, but at the same time, they turned them into these like unstoppable machines.
Like Trenchy, it's like when you take a comic book character like fucking mid-90s Superman and just make him too OP that there's no jeopardy or there's no real threat, and you know the outcome of the story as a result.
Yeah, like I like Hulk Hogan. And that's why I think my favorite Hulk Hogan match was him versus Andre, because it's like, you know, you expect him to lose, and there is actually he could get hurt because it's Andre, you know, but he slammed him like a hero, and of course Andre let him slam him. That's the only way that was going to happen, but you know, that's why I think that's one of the greatest matches of all time, because there was actually, like they said, it was an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. It's like Superman versus Batman, or that way.
If Andre the Giant doesn't want you to pick him up, you're not going to be able to pick him up.
Yeah.
My thoughts on John Cena being the GOAT. No. Until somebody breaks 16 world titles, Ric Flair is the GOAT.
I'm going to go with The Undertaker.
The Undertaker would be my second, right behind Ric Flair, because Undertaker had 30 years in one company.
The streak.
Plus the undefeated streak at WrestleMania. So therefore, I can't put him ahead of Ric Flair. I have to put him just right behind Rick as the greatest of all.
Like, I love I do, but the thing is, I think greatest of all time, I gotta agree with you, either Undertaker or The Rock. Because The Rock helped build that company. He helped make, like, in the 90s at least, he was, him and Stone Cold were, you know, him, Stone Cold, and, like, Shawn Michaels.
Him and Stone Cold were definitely the pillars of the Attitude Era, but the Attitude Era was the thing that really fucking bolstered WWE, dude.
Yeah.
Nate, your thoughts on is John Cena the GOAT?
Is John Cena the GOAT? I think he, in WWE's eyes, he's the last guy to really, because Vince McMahon even said he was the last guy to really reach for the brass rings. So I think Vince thinks that John Cena is the last of those kind of dudes who wanted to become the guy. Because of rumors that Vince McMahon, he doesn't really. I mean, there's only a handful of people on his show that he doesn't like, that he actually thinks is reaching for the brass rings. Most of them he just doesn't think are, going. And I would say John Cena is one of the greatest because of just how much of a pulverizing figure he is. I give John Cena a lot more credit than most people do. Has he done some shady things? Yeah. And does he win a lot? Yeah. Did it get annoying that he was winning a lot? Yeah. But I do think that John Cena gave his best. He was there to work every single day. He never gave excuses. He was trying to improve. You could tell he was trying to improve. He was trying to do springboards and top rope moves. He was doing everything he could, but people just kept on booing him. It's like Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns was going through that period of time where he was doing great, but because he was being used so much, people didn't like him. And I think that John Cena and Roman Reigns are two great talents that I think, are underrated. I would say that John Cena is one of the greatest, but not the greatest.
Nate, would you say was Cena kind of came into his popularity naturally, whereas Roman Reigns was a product? WWE wanted him to be the next big thing. They wanted him to be the next Cena or the next Rock, and they pushed him too hard. And as you said, he was overexposed, whereas Cena was kind of overexposed, but he gained his popularity naturally, as you said, through hard work. Where Roman Reigns is just he was kind of pushed into people's faces too much.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and also it was a bad issue in the fact that the people had already chosen their guy. Their guy was Daniel Bryan, and WWE didn't want Daniel Bryan. They wanted their guy, and they wanted Roman. And unfortunately, Roman was put into a really tough spot where he was still really early in his career, and he was still really early into his solo career, and he had to do the best he could with what he had. He was told to read from a script, to memorize things. He was told to go out there and every single night on Raw and become the guy like that. And it was, I think, a lot to take in. And I really do give Roman more credit than most people do. Though back then, people were talking like they were sending him death threats, saying that they were wishing he would die and stuff. And Roman went through a really tough time. But I feel like Roman Reigns now, if you can honestly say that you hate Roman Reigns and say that he can't wrestle, he doesn't know his character, he's a bad promo cutter, I would argue. I would disagree, because I feel like Roman has recently found the perfect spot for his character. We all knew what it was. It had to be a heel turn, had to be less of these cheesy lines and more about him just going in there and doing his thing. And they did. They listened to us and they did it. And I think Roman right now is is probably my favorite thing that WWE is doing right now is Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Those are the two things I think that WWE is doing great on right now. That Roman Reigns Samoan bloodline storyline they got going on is one of the best wrestling storylines I think in the most recent years. It's just, I think Roman just got pushed too soon, and I feel like too fast. And I was a Roman Reigns fan back then, and I was even noticing like, oh God, like Roman's in everything. He's in every single main event on pay-per-view. He's on every single pay-per-view is about Roman Reigns. Every single Raw is about Roman Reigns. It got to a point to where it was too much.
So, as you're saying, his popularity wasn't organic. It was just pushed by the company too much.
It was just pushed.
That question has made me think of a question. Who is your wrestling Mount Rushmore?
What do you mean? Like our top 10 or top 5?
The guys you would put above the top 4 guys you'd put above everybody else.
Okay, are we
Okay.
talking about personal favorites or by overall? Like,
Either or.
okay.
Okay. May I go first?
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to put down the Undertaker for sure. Um, I'm going to put down Mick Foley because that dude has earned. That dude has fucking that Mick Foley. Um, I'm going to put down Roddy Piper as well,
Mhm.
and uh, last one. Fuck, it's all the last one is difficult. I'll put down the Batista because that dude fucking busts his hole, and you can see he's fucking. He's like I know all the wrestlers give it 110%, but you can see with Batista that like he gives it his all. So yeah,
Mhm.
that those four.
Okay, I have my four. This is more personal.
Let's hear him, Trench.
Edge, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. Fantastic heel. Just, I think he revolutionized with Money in the Bank. He's fun to watch, and he always pushed the envelope. Have to have Stone Cold on there. Stone Cold was just fucking amazing with his kick-ass attitude, the fucking beer truck. He worked his ass off for the company. He went in there and he did his shit. He got it done. You got to put in Andre. Andre's called a fucking wonder of the world, one of the wonders
He's
of
the
the world.
leader of the world, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Andre's fucking amazing that to even exist, and the fact that he went in the ring and he could have been an asshole, but he wasn't. He was actually a decent guy, and he didn't use his size as an advantage. Like if you pissed him off, yeah, but he wasn't like bullying people out of
He
spite.
he was a gentle giant essentially.
Yeah, and then you guys know Roddy Piper. You guys know I already explained. I don't have to explain anymore. It's Roddy Piper.
I've come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum.
That's it.
I've
That's
come
enough.
here to kick ass and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum.
And if we're only doing four, that's my four.
Yeah, because there's only 4 on Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
Nate, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
It's 4 favorites, right? 4 all-time favorites.
4 from any era that you want to put, that you think deserve or that you think are the greatest of the great.
Hey, Beldam.
Does it have to be just 4? Or
Well, you can have honorable mentions if you want.
oh, okay, all right. Well, I've always thought, Mick Foley is definitely one that I think is one of the best. Bret Hart. I would say Ric Flair, of course. Ric Flair is a legend. And if I had to pick my last one, I would say maybe The Rock. The Rock's really talented.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable mentions: Roddy Piper, of course. Pat Patterson. British Bulldog. But yeah, the main 4 ones, I would say like Ric Flair, Mick Foley. I'd say The Rock. And then who was the other one I said? I said Mick Foley, The Rock,
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Yeah,
Oh,
those would be like my top 4.
Okay, here's my top 4. Gotta go with Ric Flair. Yeah, I'm sorry. To me, Ric Flair is the GOAT. He was so good on the mic, but then he was a cardio machine and could go forever in the ring. So Ric Flair is my first. My next guy is Mr. Perfect. I loved the way Kurt Hennig wrestled. He was just smooth as silk.
He was very tactical, yes, and a good heel.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to put Triple H up there because Triple H is a true student of the game. He studies everything about everybody. That he don't get the moniker the Cerebral Assassin for no reason.
Yeah.
I loved his cage match between the Undertaker and him. That was fucking insane.
Yeah. My final, you can't not put Stone Cold up there.
Yeah.
My honorable mentions: Ravishing Rick Rude and The Rock.
Good honorable mention. Like Rick Rude was great. Rick Rude's underrated. People like to hate on Rick Rude, but he did his job as a heel. He rocked
that's the point.
Mustache, and he could wrestle. Oh, my bad, Marty.
No. I was galvanizing your point. He was perfect at just kind of getting the ire of the audience, getting the he was the guy that people love to hate,
Yeah.
Any honorable mentions, Trinchi?
Okay, I got a few. Probably Shawn Michaels, of course. He was the showstopper for a reason. Mr. WrestleMania, man. He could perform. He was probably one of the best performers. Then you had then I put what's his name? Undertaker. I put Undertaker, of course. And I probably throw in maybe Randy Orton, because I really like Randy Orton as a personal thing. He was just a great heel, and he did his job.
Randy Orton is still a great heel. He's still going.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I love Dusty Rhodes. I don't care what people say about him. I know a lot of people talking shit about Dusty Rhodes, but I like him. And that's probably it I can think of off the bat.
Any more honorable mentions, Marty?
Giant Haystacks. I remember Giant Haystacks back in the day. He was cool. He was a fucking awesome. Yeah, do you remember him from when the WWE done the stuff in the UK?
Vaguely.
Him and the fuck Christ, the Great Khali.
Yes,
Great Khali for as big as he was could actually move.
Oh yeah, he was fucking awesome.
I think I'm gonna add one more honorable mention, and it's another big guy who could move and could take some serious bumps, and that's got to be Yoko.
Yoko. Can I say something about Yoko real quick?
Sure.
I want to say Yoko was fucked over by the WWE. They never gave Yoko a chance to be the real monster that he could have been. He was always the butt of the joke. Like, he beat Bret Hart. Of course he cheated, but he beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania, and then Hulk Hogan had to run to the ring and take that title right away from him. They never really gave Yoko a chance to shine. He was always being the joke.
I don't know. Yoko had a pretty good run as heavyweight champion.
King Kong Bundy nicknamed him Porcazuno.
I know. You said he was a heavyweight champion for a bit?
Yeah, Yoko was there for a good while. Yoko was heavyweight champion.
Oh shit.
He got a rematch with Hogan, and there wasn't even there was no contest.
Hmm. Oh, that's good. At least he got a little bit. I just feel like he was underused and kind of the butt of the joke.
Yeah, it's not that I don't think that he was underused. I think that WWE used him as much as they could because you gotta remember Yoko's weight was just forever fucking. He couldn't stop eating.
Yeah, like by the time he was featured in Heroes of Wrestling, Trenchy, he was like a fucking blob, man. He had trouble getting into the ring.
Yeah, he was like over 700 pounds.
Yeah, he was a mammoth of a man for sure.
But yeah, Yoko. I think Yoko. I think you have to deserves an honorable mention. The man for as big as he was, I've never seen I've never seen a more agile big man than Yoko.
Guys, who played E? Okay, this is not. I don't know if it is a wrestling fan. Who played E Honda in the Street Fighter movie? Was it a wrestler?
Not sure.
Dude, but it would have been perfect to have Yokozuna play E Honda.
Give me a second. I'm going to look it up.
You're on to something with that because he would have been perfect. He even looks like him, like a little bit.
Well, they're both sumo wrestlers, so it wouldn't be too much of a stretch.
Well, I'm not saying all sumo wrestlers look alike. I don't want to offend the sumo wrestler fans. Just in case, like, there's a sumo wrestler watching this. And
he comes to your house. He comes to your house and decides to touch your washboard.
You're Toyosu Sopo.
Yeah, that's it.
Was Honda.
He was an American football player.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I was just thinking of something. Wouldn't it have been great if Mr. T played Balrog?
That would have been fucking phenomenal. Or Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, better. That's even better.
But guys, you know that was a mix-up with the translation. Originally, Balrog was supposed to be
Bison.
M. Bison because Mike Tyson, and then M. Bison was supposed to be Balrog.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the Japanese translation, and it's all fucking weird.
Yeah, things just get fucked up in when they're moved from English to television. Oh, also, Mark, do you remember a comedy cop show back in the 70s called Barney Miller?
Yeah.
The guy who played Barney Miller, he voiced American act. He done the English dub for 7 of the Toho Godzilla movies.
Oh, good lord.
This is weird. I was watching Barney Miller today because I found out Ron Glass was in it. You know, Shepherd Book from Firefly. Yeah. So I decided to watch a couple of seasons, and it's really funny. It still holds up. You're still with us, Nate?
Nate? What if he went to Africa?
Do you know what happened? Nate took all Trenchy's bitches. He's in a big mattress orgy.
Nate's famous. He's a wrestler. You can check him out on YouTube. Well, he retired, but he's a wrestler, man. He jumped off a ladder and everything.
Yeah, I didn't. Didn't you show the videos to Corey?
Yeah. Yeah, I sent them to Corey. I could send them to you
That
guys if
stuff
you
was.
want.
I seen it. It's fucking badass, man. The fucking dude's got fucking balls the size of fucking soccer balls, dude, man.
Thanks, man. I
Fucking,
appreciate you checking out
you
those videos,
fucking
man.
steal ones, dude. I'd never fucking do any of the stuff you do in a million years. And have you Jackie Chan'd yourself at this stage? Have you like broke nearly every part of your body in an effort to do that stuff, or are you fairly okay?
I mean, I'm pretty good. I mean, a couple of things happened. Like one time, someone was gonna knee me, and of course, when you knee somebody, you don't hit their head all the way. Well, I got the full blunt of a knee once to the side of the head, and that really, really, really hurt. Fell off a ladder, so that hurt my knee for sure. Top of the ladder, onto the ground below, so that definitely hurt. I got launched into a tree and fell below, so that was pretty bad.
Fuck.
Yeah. But nothing like really bad. It was a lot of fun, no lie. And I mainly left because I wanted to take time away from it and maybe watch some clips and study it more and get in a better shape and really learn it more and get more better. And then hopefully one day I can come back. But we'll see how it goes.
And judging by your title and stuff, and some of the stuff that are you mainly focusing on horror movies and the like now at the moment, right, dude?
Yeah, I got the Hellraiser reviews. I got requested reviews that I want to do. Finish those up. And then I'm working on a script right now, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that done. So I do got some decent amount of things going on, you know. But hopefully, if I can get in better shape and learn and just study wrestling more, hopefully I can come back to AEW one day because we got a lot of people coming next year. We got like at least right now 5 or 6 people talking about they were going to debut. So,
Well,
you have me
dude,
and
I hope you do well, and I hope I see you in the remake of They Live or some shit down the line, dude.
oh, that'd be awesome, man. I definitely hope so, dude. It's definitely some
Put
nice
on your
goals.
glasses. Just fucking
Yeah.
fighting Keith David in his 70s in an alleyway.
He'd still
Put
kick
on
my
the
ass.
fucking glasses.
He'd still kick my ass.
Fucking Goliath. Oh,
And
man.
Spawn.
That fight was great.
That was fucking insane, man. Like,
Yeah.
you knew it was something special when was it Piper's hand went through the windshield of the car? It was like, fuck, they're not fucking around.
Ooh, I got a question. If Mark will allow it.
Shoot.
Favorite wrestler appearance in a film? Not including They Live, because we're all gonna pick They Live. So
Okay. Favorite wrestler appearance in a film that's not They Live.
and you could do something from The Rock. You can do something from The Rock if you want, because it's The Rock.
Trenchy, I'm gonna go with Batista in the MCU movies.
Yes.
Dude, people say wrestlers can't act, but Batista fucking he's got brilliant comedic.
Awesome as Dax.
My nipples.
You can't see me.
I'm gonna go with the first time The Rock appeared in the Fast and the Furious franchise as Hobbs.
Yeah. It's a good one. I like it that The Rock the fight was like they were fighting and then The Rock was the one to pick up the screwdriver or the wrench, and he was gonna hit Vin Diesel in the head with the wrench, and you're like, oh shit, that really built up Vin Diesel as
From what I understand, The Rock really wanted to kick the shit out of Vin Diesel by the end of that movie.
Yeah, but it's weird because now they got a rivalry going on. They did like
I
a few movies.
those movies though, I like. It's like I love the fact characters can blow each other up and beat the shit out of each other, and 2 movies later they're best buddies on the same fucking team, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he kidnapped your child. He blew up your Asian friend in the car. What the fuck?
Oh, he's not dead. He's coming back in the new one.
Oh, of course. Of
And-
fucking course.
And now they're going to space. Not in the new one, but there's another one. I think they're going to space.
Oh, Lord
I'm just waiting
Jesus.
for the Fast and the Furious Machete crossover.
Yes, yes. I love those movies because they're stupid, and it's just that would be perfect.
Or
I saw the trailer for the last one. They swing like fucking Tarzan a car over a crevasse on a rope bridge. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like
Dude.
in the Fast and the Furious universe, gravity doesn't exist, or there's just a very low center to it.
They got John Cena in there now because they don't have The Rock doing the main movies, so they brought in John Cena as Vin Diesel's half brother.
Yeah.
Like, and I was watching the trailer, and I'm like, don't tell me he's gonna be his brother. Like, I'm jokingly like, that'd be hilarious. And then it's like, he's my brother, and I'm like,
It's his long lost brother that nobody ever talked about.
Those films don't give a shit at this stage. They
You
don't
know what's
give
gonna
a
happen?
shit.
They're so predictable, but they're fun because they're gonna fight the villain, and John Cena's gonna join them. You know, he's gonna join. They're not gonna kill John Cena. They've only killed a couple villains. They're not gonna kill John Cena.
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
villains have they changed to good guys? And Charlize Theron is still out there.
Oh, she's still okay. She's probably gonna become a good guy. They usually don't do returning villains.
And we're probably going to get another Shobbs and Haw. Shobbs and Haw. Hobbs and Shaw. Shobbs and Haw. Hobbs and Shaw movie. For fuck's sake, man. We're probably going to get another Hobbs and Shaw movie as well.
Dude, my favorite thing about Hobbs and Shaw is they're like the bad guy is like a superhuman. But then earlier in the series, we saw The Rock pick up a fucking Gatling gun off of a fucking airplane, like a full-on Gatling gun, shoot down an airplane. And I think also in that series, Vin Diesel stomped and started an earthquake. If I remember correctly, he stomped on the ground in an earthquake.
He collapsed the fucking building. But the thing I love in the Hobbs and Shaw movie, where The Rock holds a truck onto a helicopter.
Yes. So, like, my thing is, I want to know is what is superhuman in this world? If regular humans can just do that, what the fuck is a superhuman? What is this superhuman can do? Like, Jesus,
Okay.
that's scary.
Let's establish the science here. Their Earth has a low center of gravity. Combustible fuel burns a higher fucking percentage than any other thing in the universe, and humans seem to have fucking double 10 times the strength of regular men. So yeah.
But for mine, I gotta go with 2 underrated cheesy action films: The Marine and Wrong Side of Town, because I love those movies. And you got Rob Van Dam and Batista and Wrong Side of Town whooping ass. And then in The Marine, you got John Cena versus the guy from Terminator 2.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
They done a bunch of those movies with Randy Orton as well, Trinchy.
Yeah, and I think, because I Orton did The Marine, and then Ted DiBiase did 12 Rounds sequels.
Okay, well, time out. Okay, the Marine series started with John Cena, then Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh, yeah.
And then the rest has all been The Miz.
Which one is Randy Orton, though? Mark, Randy Orton's...
Oh, Orton did 12 Rounds. Okay. I do like 12 Rounds as well.
What you think about Nate?
Yo, See No Evil though is a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
completely forgot about it.
See No
Completely,
Evil, 12
completely forgot
rounds.
about Jacob Goodnight.
I heard 12 rounds 3 was pretty good.
That was with Dean Ambrose. Yeah, that was all right.
Have you seen the one where fucking Triple H is released from prison after 10 years?
Chaperone.
I own that movie.
steals the
I
bus.
like that movie.
He steals the school bus with his daughter on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
the
no,
chaperone.
he doesn't steal it. He pretends to be the chaperone,
Yeah,
and he ends up taking it, and he ends up getting kidnapped, and the kids have to save him. Have you guys seen Knucklehead with Big Show playing like this orphan who's trying to become a wrestler to save the orphanage?
yeah.
No.
It's an okay movie. I own it. I don't know why I own it, but as a kid, I just saw Big Show and I'm like, I must own this. And
Have you seen the Hanna-Barbera specials with like the Flintstones wrestling and stuff like that?
yeah, Scooby Doo. You got Scooby Doo in there too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the Undertaker. Oh,
Oh shit. Good stuff. Good stuff.
oh man, I'm kind of bummed poor Ethel didn't get to participate.
I
She would
know.
love
Yeah,
this.
but again, Ethel it said there, has told us all countless times if she doesn't make a stream that she's invited to, it's because she is moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Jeez, I'm not fucking blaming her or anything. It's just.
No, I'm just. I was just saying that I understand why she didn't make it. I'm bummed too because this was her idea.
Mm-hmm. We'll have
Well,
to. What we'll have to do is we'll have to revamp it sometime. We'll have to do like one specifically for Ethel, and like Nate, if you want to jump on that one too, you definitely. I don't think these guys would have.
Yeah, I love it, man. Thank you for inviting me to this. This was fun.
It was good crack.
I knew it'd be up your alley, man, and gratefully Mark said, "Yeah, dude." Mark was like, "Yeah, you can come in and."
We got a professional in the stream to legitimize it. An actual person who's paid their dues.
Oh no, I'm very, very far from being professional, man. I was just like, hey, trampoline, I just want to jump on it, and I was like, all right, let me just.
Dude, you're ruining the legitimacy of the stream. You're professional.
I'm just a guy who jumps on trampolines, guys.
Yeah, he's the trampoline man.
Trampoline master.
Fucking shock master. Shock master. Fucking Nate, will you do the voice again, dude? Do the voice before you go, please.
Instead of the circled square, it's the squared circle.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm sorry if I seemed quiet a little bit there. I was while we were talking, I was working on some things, but I was making sure I paid attention to what you guys were talking about.
No worries.
Yeah, were you saying you were sketching as well? Do you draw?
No, I was just looking over some scripts, looking over some movies I wanted to talk about maybe one day, and just sorting all that stuff out for a minute. Cause I slept for a little bit today because I didn't feel great. I had like a massive migraine, so I didn't go into work today because I had like a massive migraine and stuff. Didn't really feel that good, but
You working tomorrow?
no, I don't work tomorrow. I go back in Sunday, and then I work from Sunday to Friday.
Okay. Hope you're feeling well, dude.
Thanks, man. I'm like just keep on, getting some sleep, stuff like that.
Wait. You work Sunday to Friday.
Yeah.
So you only get one day off.
Well, right now I do. It's only because it's the holidays.
So wait, you'd work 7 days a week?
No. I work regular week. I work Monday through Friday. Right now
Okay.
it's Christmas season, and we're really busy at our work. So they make us work 6 days a week.
Oh,
Yeah, but I ain't gonna last much longer. It's only gonna be till Christmas.
you work in a department store, retail?
No, I work at a Federal Express. I ship things.
Okay. So if anything goes missing, blame Nate, guys. If you're watching.
Best over here, guys.
Nate's just like, what's this white powder? Yeah, safe, grand, fire away. What's this? The ticking clock? Yeah, no bother, go on, work away.
Everybody starts calling like, "Where's my PS5? Where is it? I don't know." There's
He's
like a
like,
million FedEx.
I work for FedEx. I don't work for Amazon. Jesus.
Nate's like, oh, so that's what the bomb squad took, and he's like, no.
Can you like
Unidentified
talk to
electronic
FedEx and see if I
device.
can get a discount on my next PS5? I don't have those connections, my guy. I just move boxes.
Oh god.
And even if you did, why would you use those connections for somebody else and not get a PS5 for yourself?
Yeah.
Right. That'd be badass if I could.
Yeah.
Just get my own custom-made FedEx PS5.
Exactly.
Yeah, you think
We'll
so?
get the Don Corleone of FedEx.
I'm gonna make
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Oh gosh.
You scratch my back and I'll stab yours.
Jesus.
Hey, guys, Mark, Trenchy, you saw the poll I put up on Twitter, right?
Wait, what poll? I did not see this poll.
The Springboard topic. It was a poll picking out out of
Oh,
four.
yeah, I voted on it.
Yes, I saw that poll. Yes, I did vote on that. My bad.
So, childhood toys.
That's
Might
what I
as
voted
well.
for.
Sorry.
So that's what I voted for.
Okay, what you vote for, Trenchy?
I forget. What were the options again? I'm stupid. You
Okay,
know this.
childhood toys. Horror icons playing good guys. Walk me sideways. Hang on a minute.
Oh, I voted horror icons playing good guys because I thought that I didn't understand exactly, but I'm thinking like I thought from my perspective, I thought it would be like how we would take like a famous horror villain and how we would revamp them into a hero while keeping the same
Oh no.
terror.
That was basically movies where horror bad guys have played actual good guys.
Well, what do you mean, like the actor or their role
The
is
actor,
like
the actor.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought it was like we had to take a horror villain and revamp him to be a hero while still keeping some similar
Basically, like,
characteristics.
for example, where Christopher Lee has played a good guy in a movie.
Oh yeah. Okay. That
But
works.
that can be a later topic. The main topic we're going to be doing is childhood toys. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, dude. I like had a bunch of superhero toys and wrestling toys. I can talk about toys.
Ooh. What about yourself, Nate? If there's a spot free, do you want to hop on?
What is it?
Basically, I have a Sunday night stream, and I kind of just pick random topics to discuss. And just one of the topics, I put a vote up, and the topic that won is child toys from our childhood.
Yeah, I can definitely try to join that. I'll just have Trenchy send me the link whenever it's gonna go down, and if I'm not working, sure, I'd love to join.
Cool
Yeah, no
beans.
problem.
I'll actually probably be leaving soon because I gotta clean my room, take a shower, do the laundry. Figures I got a day off to get all that stuff done.
Come here, mind yourself, dude. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna try to, man. Just take it easy for a minute.
Oh, Jesus. Aye. I might call it an evening, Mark, okay?
What time is it there? Because I know it's just now 7 o'clock here in my time. So what's it your time, Martin?
2 a.m.
Oh hell, dude, go. You want to call it a night? Go for it.
Yeah.
I'll see Fecker so Sunday. And
All right,
sure, if there's another topic that you want to talk about after, we'll see. I know Sadie's is on board, and I'll see who else is there. And if there's space, Nate can jump on, and I'll see what the story is. So have a good night.
Night, Martin.
Good night.
Stay positive.
Night, Martin.
Night, Nate. See you guys.
See ya.
And with that, I think I'm going to end this stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun, guys.
It was.